1961, which 1961, which leads to October Southern Cameroon. The flag of Southern Cameroon is made up of 1961, which leads to October Southern Cameroon. The flag of Southern Cameroon is made up of 1961, which leads to October.
Amazonians, special loyalty. Praise the soul of Savior who granted us the freedom. I love the soul of hero who bowed the lonely Diablo. Glory to glory, we rise and never to fall. Here in a nation, flowing with earth and holy. Glory, glory, glory to the Father for making you a nation, a joy forevermore. Ambazonia, land of freedom, you shall live in plenty, meeting our need, and your children shall be like the stars above. The Most High God being the watchman of this nation. Ambazonia, land of freedom, you shall live in plenty, meeting our need, and your children shall be like the stars above. The Most High God being the watchman of this nation. Hail, hail this land of glory. We the Amazonians, special loyalty. Praise the soul of Savior who granted us the freedom. I love the soul of hero who bowed the lonely Diablo. Glory to glory, we rise and never to fall. Here in a nation, flowing with earth and holy. Glory, glory, glory to the Father for making you a nation, a joy forevermore. Ambazonia, land of freedom, you shall live in plenty, meeting our need, and your children shall be like the stars above. The Most High God being the watchman of this nation. Ambazonia, land of freedom, you shall live in plenty, meeting our need, and your children shall be like the stars above. The Most High God being the watchman of this nation. Hail, glory. We the Ambazonians pledge our loyalty. Praise the soul of Savior who granted us for freedom. Allegiance to the hero who bowed the land with Yahweh. Glory to glory, we rise and never to fall. Here in a nation, flowing rivers and glory. Glory, glory, glory to the Father for making you a nation, a joy forevermore. Ambazonia, land of freedom, you shall live in plenty, meeting our needs, and your children shall be like the stars above. The Most High God be the watchman of this nation. Ambazonia, land of freedom, you shall live in plenty, meeting our needs, and your children shall be like the stars above. The Most High God be the watchman of this nation.
Fellow countrymen and women, dear Ambazonians, happy Independence Day. Let us honor some of the great warriors of our time who have passed on to cheer us up from the world beyond. Romanus, Biabia, Ivumba, Amigo, Divine, Chacha, Tiger, and all the valiant commanders. They gave their lives to defend our proud inheritance. All hail 21 gun salute to our great heroes. And now a moment of silence, please, to honor this. May their souls rest in honor. Fellow Ambazonians, dear countrymen, despite the hike in targeted summary execution of our innocent people by Paul Biya's killer squads, I still believe we are now at the twilight of our political daybreak, emptying the combined worth and wealth of a lifetime fortune into the country of our collective dream. At last, my people, the wind of total liberation is sweeping through Ambazonia, our priceless inheritance. Let's get it straight. The freedom of Ambazonia will not depend on the free will of our enemies. In celebrating this historic day, we are not trying to glorify our debts to satisfy a political interest, but to reaffirm our unique destiny in the opportunities and the hope that our collective sacrifice foreshadows on the generation to come. This day of every year is not just another ordinary day in the life of our nation. This is October 1st, our rightful Independence Day, a day which by all standards of legality marks the end of colonial rule and the establishment of a free and independent Southern Cameroon's nation. To ascertain the actual political morality and the biological connotation of this great day, a routine trip into history will suffice. Over 6 decades ago, precisely on the 21st of April 1961, nations of the earth assembled by some divine order and under the organizational auspices of the United Nations General Assembly to vote for the independence of the UN Trust Territory of the British Southern Cameroons, now known as the Federal Republic of Ambazonia, with the passing of Resolution 1608. It was decided that at midnight, September 30th, the trusteeship administration of Britain over Southern Cameroons will come to an expected end. That is how the 1st of October became British Southern Cameroon's Independence Day. Unfortunately, evil predators from French Cameroon, with the help of imperialist France, stole our gift in the air before it landed. So instead of decolonization, we were recolonized by a French proxy. Since joining the enslaved people of the Banana Republic of French Cameroon, only by imagination do we travel the distance into the jungle of our history to pay homage to our nabbed Independence Day. Throughout our botched experiment, celebrating this day was criminalized in the order of treason by our invaders. These evil occupiers have disappeared many of our comrades just for daring to identify or commemorate this day. Fellow Southern Cameroonians, beloved Ambazonians, as we make progress with this discourse, permit me to rehearse a brief chronology of significant events dating the political life of Ambazonia. By 1954, our forefathers had garnered enough momentum for the creation of the first republic after withdrawal from the Eastern House of Assembly in Enugu, Nigeria. Through our parliamentary practice and in the creed of our civilized heritage, we had withdrawn in 1953 and asserted our rights to self-governance. However, our fledgling democracy, a continental flag bearer at the time, especially in the expression of political choices and transition of power, was short-lived, not without the hope invested and reflected in our character. Then came the official proclamation of our independence after a contentious voting procedure by the United Nations General Assembly on the 21st of April 1961. October 1st was isolated from Destiny's calendar to host this glorifying crown and privilege as the birthday of our nation state. Of course, in the wisdom of politics, our mere intention was sought prior by way of the plebiscite if we would like to join a colleague nation, Cameroon, a former Category B UN Trust territory, which became the Independent Republic of Cameroon on 1st January 1960. The question will be to form a two-state federation of equal status or join the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Well, to this day, despite the gut-wrenching noise about this process, the result of the consultation vote and the outcome, there is no official document in the brazen and binding logic of law which justifies claims of any marriage with French Cameroon. Even if it is to be believed, as pundits of the Hallelujah Choir in Yaoundé would have it, that our political intention was sought and indeed given in stone. My people, there is nothing in the height of this business which qualifies or validates our current occupation by French Cameroon except new colonial accommodation. Fellow comrades in arms, from that doomsday of the proclamation of our independence in 1961, we have endured a bloody conspiracy like no other nation in the fold and mold of black on black politics. Today, the luxury of this nationalist superstition demands more than a proclamation of the right of existence of our people, to whom the legitimate promises to our independent nation. It is an affirmation of our true identity and a rejection of the colonial enterprise of fraud called the Republic of Cameroon. Credit me, if you may, to say that I stand this moment on the shores of our proclaimed independence to feel our hopes and the certainty and the reality that the time has come when we will all celebrate this day in honor, dignity, and even in tears of pride. Every people on earth has the right to celebrate the day of their birth. A day like this one. This is our heritage. This is our story. And this is our destiny. Dear Ambazonians, we have mentally graduated from a time of politics when our people were devalued by the curse of French Cameroon's hatred and division, where we were no different from animals in the eyes of our French Cameroon colonial puppeteers, when we were idle lambs of sacrifice in the ambition of those colonial stooges east of the Mongo, when, like some fantasy, our lives and destiny could be decided on a cigar table in Yaoundé by some French proxies, when the right and the righteous innocence and naivety of our people was the license for what should be correctly described today as the greatest evil conspiracy of colonial conquest in sub-Saharan Africa. My brave people, to say that all these are in the past, or that we should forget about history and think like Pan-Africanists today, will be a deliberate mistake of grave existential consequence for our endangered people. Here we are, an English-speaking people or country, by the end of World War II, they're still at war with the shadows of a French colonial enterprise seeking to rename and enflesh itself over our destiny. We are being killed daily for who we are, and the post-Rwanda world is watching with tight lips and tied hands. We say no. No to those favoring French Cameroon to continue recolonizing southern Cameroons. No. No to those killing us for the rebranding of a political ideology. No. To those torturing our people for the gratification of their vampire instincts. No. No to those looting Ambazonia for the economic privileges of colonial bounty houses in Europe. No. To those maiming our children just to feed the social media with horrible news headlines and hashtags. No. To those who only brandish their responsibility to protect in a meeting agenda and not on their real world agenda for Ambazonia. I told French Cameroon before in another language. Let me tell you again in a simple language. The person who does not want his neighbor to sleep should expect a knock on his door. Fellow Ambazonians, remember when this all started? We suffered in chains, but held back from 1961 to 2016. By the grace of our very Christian conscience, our civility was mistaken for stupidity. We kept condoning these barbarians who are killing us now inside our own country because they appeared in the complexion of our brothers. We obliged them when they asked to stay in our land. We accommodated them when they decided to overstay their welcome. We gave them our pure hand when they knocked our doors for marriage. We tolerated them when they desperately stood in opposition to our culture. We engaged them like gentlemen when they hewed down every fruit-bearing tree in our yard. We endured them in their reckless inconsideration of our lives, culture, identity, and aspirations as a people for too long. But it was a matter of time before destiny caught up with the iniquities of these French Cameroon wolves in sheep clothing in Ambazonia, who are still claiming privilege, authority, and title over Ambazonia as their no-so against us, the rightful owners and indigenous people of Amazonia. A title, of course, without a title deed, a marriage without a marriage certificate, an enterprise of lies. Today, as the Never Again generation, we have one assignment: to right this great wrong through the sword of justice, with the flame of our courage and the undying spirit of our righteous resolve. So whether we live or die, let it be for Amazonia. My dear compatriots, let no one preach colonial righteousness or political righteousness and colonial accommodation to your hearing anymore. This is the single strand of logic which rewards our oppressors and occupiers with privileged tools of terror, torture, and impunity in their ambition for power. What we have done since the national tragedy of 1st October 1961 is to resist and seek to exist in full recognition of our political identity. Dr. EML Endeli, and may his soul rest in honor, and others sought to help the help of Nigeria to reverse this ugly tide of events. Our people assembled in Buea and Bamenda in what's known as the AAC 1 and 2 to provide leadership to their thinking. Goodwill citizens petitioned in the Bamenda High Court to reclaim our sovereignty. Dr. John Bufoncha, before his death, traveled with orders to the United Kingdom to appeal for the consideration of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth. High-powered Amazonian diplomatic delegations severally visited the United Nations Secretariat in the United States for a redress of our bitter political experience. The birth of several nationalist entities, especially the Youth League of Dr. Ebenezer Akwanga, challenged our sense of urgency with a campaign for self-defense. Chief Justice Ebong, of blessed memory, seized Radio Buea to declare the independence of our nation. Chief Ayamba Ote's SCNC restored the consciousness of our political identity. Mandated representatives of our people seized the exclusive attention of the High Court of Nigeria in Abuja, presided by Chief Justice R.N. Okeje. His Capo SCNC-led team prayed the African Court of Human Rights in the Gambia to stake our claims in continental scope. The depth of our international petition have been constantly increased by the revolutionary sacrifice of Chairman Dr. Fongalafo, Honorable Gojidinka, Ambassador Henry Fossum, and the consortium under the leadership of Comrade Abombala Nkomo rekindled the flames of our political emancipation in a daring act of political sacrifice. Comrade Tassan Wilfred held onto the torch of hope that transplanted the engine of the consortium into a new restoration vehicle, the interim government. The former regime of Ayuk Tabe Julius proclaimed the constitution of our beliefs, and today the people's blessings are on my shoulders to defend our proclamation and finish the job of liberating our land. Surrounded by patriotic voices like Secretary Chris Ano, Dumfo and Bo Hebert, Honorable Kometa, my indefatigable Vice President Abongwa Harrison, and a terrific team of cabinet members, I can only pray and say, so help us God. We sang the song of solidarity and peace, but this has not proved enough. We have campaigned for understanding, but this has not gathered enough purpose. We have waged our bargain on the side of civility, but it has not reconciled our true intentions in this bloody interpretation of events. We have burdened our conscience with the soulful adventure of political appeasement, but it has not granted us enough foothold into the day's offerings. We have lamented our fate in self-pity, but this has not expressed our humanity enough. We began a movement of self-discovery with slogans of peace and justice, but it did not yield enough political consideration. We have changed this movement from a domestic revolution under the talents of curiosity to now a liberation struggle in the steady hands of a community-based leadership. But this is not enough. We have given the liberation struggle a center stage in the jealous eyes of global political causes, but this is hardly enough. This is where we are, and we know it too well to tell these truths to our children. Nothing reminds us and informs our agenda better than our collective sacrifices and common aspirations as a people. Ambazonia, it is my greatest honor and highest privilege as your president to welcome you to a new chapter of challenges in our brightest hope. Today's Independence Day celebration marks a turning point in our nation's history as we take charge of our destiny and lead the efforts for posterity. If the lessons are worth the learning, then we cannot tease and appease French Cameroon with peace, debates, and civil discussions or processes without locking fate with new firepower. Therefore, having extravagantly endured the long journey of peace, we now begin the shortest route to our independence restoration with strategies that should address the urgency. If French Cameroon's cruelty could not break the Ambazonian spirit when we had only words in our lips, if these barbarians of French ideological orientation could not destroy purpose in our words when we wielded just branches of peace plans, if this primitive force of belly politics could not buy us to submission when we knew little about ourselves, then it is safe to say, now that we carry weapons which mimic their might, we have forever risen beyond their capability of defeat. This war has gotten to the stage of self-destruction because no side will win this war. But the bigger part or the bigger party who has more pressure will surely be the greater loser. They have taken everything we had. What else can we lose by fighting on? Beyond the capabilities or the capacities, intelligence and evil machinations and prayers of French Cameroon, Ambazonia is here today, tomorrow and forever. To ensure this, we have swiftly moved to take advantage of the political blessings and opportunities of conflict to reposition our national liberation strategy. Fellow Ambazonians, dear warriors, my government has commissioned $1 million+ armed project to unfold in phases to rearm any and every willing soldier of our liberation struggle as we dig deeper into the trenches of self-defense. Our robust community self-defense apparatus will benefit from the strategic resources from this timely project as counties and local government areas prioritize their security in this national strategic plan. Elite forces armed with our quest for justice and a righteous vengeance shall play a leading role to recapture territories still under the illegal occupation of French Cameroon. And our enlistment program, launched under the Amber War Draft campaign, shall be broadened in scope and depth to put weapons in the hands of any and every willing and patriotic warrior in Ambazonia. In the glorious expectation of this new phase, the Ambazonian Restoration Forces in every county and local government are now constituted into the People's Army. Every true Ambazonian soldier in this era deserves innovative upgrade and must be a lover of community development, a promoter of liberty, a guarantor of our sovereignty, a defender of our women and children, a campaigner for humanity, a liberator with political pedigree, a soldier of fortune, a steward of good hope, and a patriot of the order of Augustine Ngomjoa. My dear people, we have come this far to keep close to each other, to believe in ourselves, to take our vows seriously, to admire our efforts, to know this devil of a French Cameroon monster in our true colors. Let us unite in battle so we may remain united in victory. Our common agreement around the essence of this day is a confirmation that what unites us is far greater than what separates us. As our people celebrate affirming our identity, country, pride, and memories of their loved ones, we are reminded again of who we are. The centrality of this day in our liberation history and what we have sacrificed so far to behold this moment with great hope than ever. The defiance of the Ambazonian spirit knows no political bullies or war threats than the beliefs and truths about our identity. While we reiterate our willingness, readiness, and preparedness to a political mediation and negotiation in the existing international framework under the auspices of the Swiss-led diplomatic initiative, our resolve to statehood is well established in the will and choice of weapons of our people. We have been patient enough on our resolve for dialogue, but not even this piece of virtue in our identity should be taken for granted. The Ambazonian will is disposed to all weapons of political adaptation and survival, from the shores of Bimbia and the heights of Mount Fako, through the valleys of Lebialem to the grass fields and the highlands of the north. We rise together, stand together, and walk together. Patriotic salute to all our heroes who have gone before us. Patriotic salute to all our valiant Ambazonia Restoration Forces. Freedom greetings to our Ambazonian mothers. Patriotic salute to our fathers. And thank you, Ambazonia. Happy Independence Day. Oh, be proud to say Happy Independence Day to every one of our genocide survivors. Yes, we deserve this. Ambazonia shall be free. Long live Ambazonia. Short live the war. Viva Ambazonia Restoration Forces. Viva the Federal Republic of Ambazonia. And God bless you.
Hail, hail, hail this land of glory. We the Ambazonians pledge our loyalty. Praise the soul of Savior who granted us the freedom. And let the soul of hero who bound along with Yahweh. Glory to glory, we rise and never to fall. Carrying our nation, flowing with earth and holy. Glory, glory, glory to the Father for making you a nation, a joy forevermore. Ambazonia, land of freedom, you shall live in plenty, meeting our need, and your children shall be like the sun. shine and lives in our need. And your children's loving light is fast above. The Most High God being the watchman of this nation.
Cameroon is made up of 1961, which leads to October Southern Cameroon. The flag of Southern Cameroon is made up of 19.
Report on the humanitarian situation of Southern Cameroonian refugees in Nigeria.
Papa, what's your house there? Your own house, who's there?
I like a house.
You don't get house.
This thing. A tent.
You get a tent.
Here I am in the Adagon 3 settlement, and it's in one of the huts. You can see, for example, what the executive was talking about, that our parents are sleeping, our grandparents, you see what they are sleeping on mats.
The vulnerable peoples of British Southern Cameroon's Ambazonia continue to suffer neglect, pain and hardship even as they yearn for succor in far distant countries after having been forced to flee to safety from the genocidal onslaught that has enveloped their homeland since 2016 and has displaced over 1 million persons, with women and children being the overwhelming majority. Forced displacement of people during conflict is a major humanitarian challenge that calls for immediate action to protect the lives and dignity of those trapped in conflict. In neighboring Nigeria, Southern Cameroonian refugees do not only battle the challenging task of being identified, registered and settled in line with the UNHCR mandate, some have literally been subjected to very deplorable conditions and abandoned to the stink of human decay.
So you can imagine what is happening to them. So now, because of this, that caused one of these our dads to fall sick. So you can imagine a man of his age sleeping on the mat. This is almost like sleeping on bare floor. Good afternoon, eh? Well, Asha, you say now wait till they worry you. Yeah, where's the hut? Where? So is it kind of paralysis or what?
I don't know. We have struggled. It's over 3 months today. I only carry him with my bag to go and put him in the toilet and back to the house, just like it for 3 months now.
Wonderful.
That's how I do.
So have you been able to take him to the hospital for a doctor to assess?
He gone to the general hospital. They say his situation is more than him. He needs to be referred to the teaching hospital.
We were informed at HSS about the deplorable conditions that our people are living in Adagon 3 refugee settlement. So we decided to send our HSS director, Comrade Kia Jude, from Nigeria, to go out for a fact-finding mission at Adagon 3 refugee settlement. When we got the report, the images we saw were deplorable, very painful images of our people and the conditions that they're living in. People sleeping on the floor on mats with no mattresses, no food to eat. But not only that, a lot of them had some chronic conditions. They were sick and had some chronic conditions that they were dealing with.
Na Hope Relief Foundation, they don't come visit you. So the one sister where you sleep, Papa. Papa, how old are you? See, Papa, this Papa's bed. He sleeps on the floor. Papa, you don't be here how long? 3 years today. 3 years today. Now Papa bed this way he sleeps. So Papa no get mattress. Papa, your name now is Abba Akumbo. Abba Akumbo. Yes. Mommy, good evening. We don't come for here today for Adagon 3 when our Hope Relief Foundation send we. The more can see refugee them for here. Mommy, one see place where you sleep or they send we for you. So this is Mommy's. Is that not a mattress? This is where Mommy sleeps. Mommy, I don't know anything. Mama, I coffee that room. This is her bed.
This is one of our mothers here in Adagon 3 settlement, as you can see. Chairman, what do you say happened to this our mother?
This our mother is leprous. She was leprous and even on her hands. You can see her fingers everywhere. So she has been here for a very long time. This is the only thing the UNHCR could afford for her. And she's here. She does not even have a mattress. This is a woman of over 82 years now. And she sleeps on the bed floor. I don't know, but we are just calling on the government to do something. This kind of thing, because these are severe cases. They are not only few. We have more than something in other countries. Just because of time, because not I would have gone around the settlement, so we see it for itself. So this is one of the that I.
Oh, this is horrible. Where, Mami Ashaya? Where, Ashia? Yes, we will go put an ad for government, then they will see how they will come if we can't help you. Yeah, Mami? Yes.
Government of Ambazonia, I greet you all. My name is Inyam Randy Inyam, settlement leader for Adagon 3 refugee settlement, precisely in Ogoja, Nigeria. You can see our parents, our mom here right in front of me, and in all their numbers, all these persons have not been given mattresses since they were registered and we relocated to Adagon 3 by UNHCR. They are in a very good number of them, and not all are here because some cannot walk by themselves to this place. So it's the fortunate ones that they happen to be able to walk to this place that you can see. So we are begging on the interim government that they should do as much as possible to assist their people here in Adagon 3. we all know that they were not aware that a place exists like Adagom 3, but at least you can see with these videos that Adagom 3 is in reality.
When the letter from the UNHCR stating that they were going to reduce the refugee stipends to 2,000 naira a month, and not only that, that after that they were going to stop providing stipends to refugees. When the letter got to us, I must say that it was very painful when we got the letter. Why? Because we already know with the little support that they're providing to our refugees, it still wasn't enough. Our refugees are still living in very deplorable conditions, some of which you could have seen on the videos that came in from the Adagon refugee camp. The Adagon 3 refugee camp is a registered UNHCR camp. So you see the conditions that they're living in, even when being supported by giving you stipend by the UNHCR. But I'm going to say that us as the government, or as the members of this interim government, we owe it to our people. We will continue to take care of our people, but at the same time, we are hoping that the UNHCR is going to change that decision. Because I think they stated in the letter that they don't have any support. We are hoping that they should find some kind of support to be able to change that decision to continue to provide the support that our people really need. We really thank the UNHCR for the help that they've been providing, even though it's not been enough.
In reality, thank you very much. I will still carry you back to where we have chronically ill persons in Adagom 3. They have not been able to come. You can see this a mother who has been so chronically ill. You see her stomach. The UNHCR has not been doing anything about this. We call on you to really do something about this, and precisely onto my father, whom you already have an information of him. Look at him lying, as we said about mattresses. We don't have mattresses. Look at where my father, the settlement chairman's father, is lying, almost on a bare floor. So we are appealing that you do something to it. Thank you very much.
After receiving that report and the images, we sat down at the department and decided to do something.
here in Adagom settlement today, the 4th of June 2021. So you have seen it for yourself. Thank you. Thank
and mouth no fit count carry. And I want to tell say we no go die hungry again.
Today when at the 4th of June 2021, when I hear no? Yes, when Hope Relief Foundation, you don't come visit Una. Yes, Hope Relief Foundation don't come visit Una. Now when I part in this for you know, on a chairperson, then this now a chair lady, you know. Okay, chair lady and chairperson when I come, when I see what you can come to.
Adagon 3 don't go as far as getting a phase 8 Bokwe in music. Make we turn our eyes again, oh. We don't see this thing. Na matras day.
We pray that they continue to provide them the support, while at the same time, the level of the Department of Health and Social Services of this interim government, we will continue to do the best that we can to reach out to our people. We will continue to do the best that we can to reach out to international humanitarian organizations or NGOs and seek for help that it could go a long way in helping our people. I would like to take this moment again once more to thank the President of the Federal Republic of Ambazonia for his great show of leadership and guidance, great vision for free and independent Southern Cameroons. The support that you have all been providing to the Department of Health and Social Services of this interim government have gone a long way in helping our people that are internally displaced in Ground Zero, that are in the prisons, both in Ground Zero and in neighboring French Cameroon and other areas in the diaspora. The support that you've been supporting this HSS has gone a long way in helping our brothers and sisters in the refugee camp. We thank you for everything that you've been doing, and please, I'm begging for everyone not to relent. We know it's difficult, we know it's challenging. We can do it. I think we've gone a long way, and we are now seeing very good results thanks to all the efforts that we all put in. Thank you again once more.
This exercise went through in Adagon 1 last month ago, and we thought the interim government has forgotten about us. But we've now seen to our faces that our government has not forgotten, and they have made a drive also to our own settlement here. So at least we want to appreciate that fact. You see, when you mentioned of food in Adagon 3, there are certain aspects of food boom. As from the time we left Cameroon, we have not been able to afford up to now, especially rice, which somebody like me cannot say I've seen rice up to from late 2019 up to now. I've not been able to afford a cup of rice for my family. And Adagon 3 is having over 723 relocated refugees, families in Adagon 3, and over 226 self-relocated families to Adagon 3.
And that makes about how many refugees in total?
In total, I don't have the total number of refugees, but we have here over 12,000 plus hundreds of refugees in Adagon 3, and made up of most especially widows and single mothers, female-headed households whom they don't even have husbands and all the like. So it's very hard here in Adagon 3, and since we came to Adagon 3 late October 2019, we have not been able to be given anything like food in Adagon 3, neither from any partner or UNHCR.
Statistical data from relevant refugee agencies on the ground shows that a majority of these people in the refugee settlements have been attacked at least once, leaving their homes and properties destroyed. The situation of Southern Cameroonian refugees in Nigeria has been dramatic and appalling. For the past 4 years, there has been a significant increase in the number of people fleeing violence perpetrated by the barbaric military of La République du Cameroon into Nigeria. Many of these people, particularly women and children, are victims of harassment, rape, and other forms of sexual violence. A majority of these people who have been separated from their families go through psychological trauma and depression on a daily basis. The situation has further exacerbated by the COVID-19 pandemic, which continues to spread across Nigeria's Taraba and Cross River states. While there has been considerable help from UN agencies and some local NGOs, the timely intervention from the interim government through the Department of the Health and Social Services, HSS, has been very crucial in alleviating the situation and restoring hope. Through the generosity of Southern Cameroonians scattered across the world, the HSS has been able to carry out several humanitarian outreach programs and initiatives, and anticipates to carry out many more of such visits, with the primary goal to help Southern Cameroonians refugees with the much needed humanitarian assistance. Recent reports of food shortages, lack of medication, electricity, and access to clean water in some settlements underscores the need for a robust humanitarian response from the interim government. Efficient resource mobilization, better coordination, and quality performance are part of the goal to bring hope to our refugees.
We are right in the palace. We have hoisted the flag up. As the flag is going up, means that we have accepted to build one Ambazonian. Alayapo somewhere reporting from Baba Kitungo. Watch and see what is happening in the palace. You see the population, we have about 10,000 people here hoisting the flag. This is our flag. It shall remain here until the day that we have our independence. The day is not far from now. We know 1st October will be the same thing. You can see how the flag is flying up. We have hoisted the flag in Babaki. This is Babaki Tungo. We are right in the palace. We have hoisted the flag up. As the flag is going up, means that we have accepted to build one Ambazonian. Alayapo somewhere reporting from Babaki Tungo. Watch and see what is happening in the palace. You see the population, we have about 10,000 people here hoisting the flag. This is our flag. It shall remain here until the day that we have our independence. The day is not far from now. We know 1st October will be the same thing. You can see how the flag is flying up. We have hoisted the flag in Babaki. This is Babaki Tungo. We are right in the palace. We have hoisted the flag up. As the flag is going up, means that we have accepted to build one Ambazonian. Alayapo somewhere reporting from Baba Kitungo. Watch and see what is happening in the palace. You see the population, we have about 10,000 people here hoisting the flag. This is our flag. It shall remain here until the day that we have our independence. The day is not far from now. we know 1st October will be the same thing.
So you're saying I can ask this cat any question?
The cat is connected to the computer. You just type in the question, it will read his mind. There the answer comes.
You're the man! I've been looking for this for weeks. So you're saying I can ask this cat any question?
The cat is connected to the computer. You just type in the question, it will read his mind. There the answer comes.
You're the man! I've been looking for this for weeks. So you're saying I can ask this cat any question?
Fellow countrymen and women, dear Ambazonians, happy Independence Day. Despite the hike in targeted summary execution of our innocent people by Paul Biya's killer squads, I still believe we are now at the twilight of our political daybreak, emptying the combined worth and wealth of a lifetime fortune into the country of our collective dream. At last, my people, the wind of total liberation is sweeping through Ambazonia, our priceless inheritance. Let's get it straight. The freedom of Ambazonia will not depend on the free will of our enemies. While we reiterate our willingness, readiness, and preparedness to a political mediation and negotiation in the existing international framework under the auspices of the Swiss-led diplomatic initiative, our resolve to statehood is well established in the will and choice of weapons of our people. We have been patient enough on our resolve for dialogue, but not even this piece of virtue in our identity should be taken for granted. The Ambazonian will is disposed to all weapons of political adaptation and survival, from the shores of Bimbia and the heights of Mount Fako, through the valleys of Lebialem to the grass fields and the highlands of the north. We rise together, stand together, and walk together. Patriotic salute to all our heroes who have gone before us. Patriotic salute to all our valiant Ambazonia Restoration Forces. Freedom greetings to our Ambazonian mothers. Patriotic salute to our fathers. And thank you, Ambazonia. Happy Independence Day. Oh, be proud to say Happy Independence Day to every one of our genocide survivors. Yes, we deserve this. Ambazonia shall be free. Long live Ambazonia. Short live the war. Viva Ambazonia Restoration Forces. Viva the Federal Republic of Ambazonia. And God bless you.
Ambazonia, it is now or never. This generation, our generation, the never again generation, has risen to fall no more. From all around the world, we look forward to October 1st with anticipation as the President of the Federal Republic of Ambazonia, His Excellency Dr. Samuel Ikome Sako, will be addressing the nation with nuggets that will project us into the next level of triumph on Thursday evening, September 30th, 2021 at exactly 8 p.m. Amber time from the State House.
Fellow countrymen and women, dear Ambazonians, happy Independence Day. Despite the hike in targeted summary execution of our innocent people by Paul Biya's killer squads, I still believe we are now at the twilight of our political daybreak, emptying the combined worth and wealth of a lifetime fortune into the country of our collective dream. At last, my people, the wind of total liberation is sweeping through Ambazonia, our priceless inheritance. Let's get it straight. The freedom of Ambazonia will not depend on the free will of our enemies. While we reiterate our willingness, readiness, and preparedness to a political mediation and negotiation in the existing international framework under the auspices of the Swiss-led diplomatic initiative, our resolve to statehood is well established in the will and choice of weapons of our people. We have been patient enough on our resolve for dialogue, but not even this piece of virtue in our identity should be taken for granted. The Ambazonian will is disposed to all weapons of political adaptation and survival, from the shores of Bimbia and the heights of Mount Fako, through the valleys of Libialen to the grass fields and the highlands of the north. We rise together, stand together, and walk together. Patriotic salute to all our heroes who have gone before us. Patriotic salute to all our valiant Ambazonia Restoration Forces. Freedom greetings to our Ambazonian mothers. Patriotic salute to our fathers. And thank you, Ambazonia. Happy Independence Day. Oh, be proud to say Happy Independence Day to every one of our genocide survivors. Yes, we deserve this. Ambazonia shall be free. Long live Ambazonia. Short live the war. Viva Ambazonia Restoration Forces. Viva the Federal Republic of Ambazonia. And God bless you.
Ambazonia, it is now or never. This generation, our generation, the never again generation, has risen to fall no more. From all around the world, we look forward to October 1st with anticipation as the President of the Federal Republic of Ambazonia, His Excellency Dr. Samuel Ikome Sako, will be addressing the nation with nuggets that will project us into the next level of triumph on Thursday evening, September 30th, 2021 at exactly 8 p.m. Amber time from the State House.
Fellow countrymen and women, dear Ambazonians, happy Independence Day. Despite the hike in targeted summary execution of our innocent people,
we are right in the palace. We have hoisted the flag up. As the flag is going up, means that we have accepted to be one Ambazonian. I'm Ayapo Samuel reporting from Babankitungo. Watch and see what is happening in the palace. You see the population? We have about 10,000 people here holding the flag. This is our flag. It shall remain here until the day that we have our independence. The day is not far from now. We know 1st October will be the same thing. You can see how the flag is flying up. We have hosted the flag in Babanki. This is Babanki Tungo. We are right in the palace. We have hosted the flag up. As the flag is going up, means that we have accepted to build one Ambazonian. I'm a airport somewhere reporting from Babanki Tungo. Watch and see what is happening in the palace. You see the population? We have about 10,000 people here holding the flag. This is our flag. It shall remain here until the day that we have our independence. The day is not far from now. We know 1st October will be the same thing. You can see how the flag is flying up. We have hosted the flag in Babanki. This is Babanki Tungo. We are right in the palace. We have hosted the flag up. As the flag is going up, means that we have accepted to build one Ambazonian. I'm a airport somewhere reporting from Babanki Tungo. Watch and see what is happening in the palace. You see the population? We have about 10,000 people here.
You just type in the question, it will read his mind. There the answer comes.
You're the man! I've been looking for this for weeks. So you're saying I can ask this cat any question?
The cat is connected to the computer. You just type in the question, it will read his mind. There the answer comes.
You're the man! I've been looking for this for weeks. So you're saying I can ask this cat any question?
The cat is connected to the computer. You just type in the question, it will read his mind. There the answer comes.
You're the man! I've been looking for this for weeks. So you're saying I can ask this cat any question?
The cat is connected to the computer. You just type in the question, it will read his mind. There the answer comes.
You're the man! I've been looking for this for weeks. So you're saying I can ask this cat any question?
The cat is connected to the computer. You just type in the question, it will read his mind. There the answer comes.
You're the man! I've been looking for this for weeks. So you're saying I can ask this cat any question?
The cat is connected to the computer. You just type in the question, it will read his mind.
I still believe we are now at the twilight of our political daybreak, emptying the combined worth and wealth of a lifetime fortune into the country of our collective dream. At last, my people, the wind of total liberation is sweeping through Ambazonia, our priceless inheritance. Let's get it straight. The freedom of Ambazonia will not depend on the free will of our enemies. While we reiterate our willingness, readiness, and preparedness to a political mediation and negotiation in the existing international framework under the auspices of the Swiss-led diplomatic initiative, our resolve to statehood is well established in the will and choice of weapons of our people. We have been patient enough on our resolve for dialogue, but not even this piece of virtue in our identity should be taken for granted. The Ambazonian will is disposed to all weapons of political adaptation and survival, from the shores of Bimbia and the heights of Mount Fako, through the valleys of Libialem to the grass fields and the highlands of the north. We rise together, stand together, and walk together. Patriotic salute to all our heroes who have gone before us. Patriotic salute to all our valiant Ambazonia Restoration Forces. Freedom greetings to our Ambazonian mothers. Patriotic salute to our fathers. And thank you, Ambazonia. Happy Independence Day. Oh, be proud to say Happy Independence Day to every one of our genocide survivors. Yes, we deserve this. Ambazonia shall be free. Long live Ambazonia. Short live the war. Viva Ambazonia Restoration Forces. Viva the Federal Republic of Amazonia. And God bless you.
Good evening, dear televiewers, fellow Ambazonians. Once again, you are welcome to this special evening with your humble servant, Comfort Confo. Today is one of those days, one of the special weeks in the history and the life of the people of Ambazonia, British Southern Cameroons. And with me here in the studio, I have a very powerful team, 3 statesmen and women who are here to give you reason and continue to tell our story to the world as we look forward to celebrating our Independence Day as we become 60 years in independence on the 1st of October 2021. So stay tuned, share and invite everybody who is supposed to be here. As you can see brilliantly looking on the screen, I am honored to be here tonight with none else but our own Pastor Commando in the house, who is the spiritual director for the presidency, and equally have Ma Patience Abiedu, who is Secretary of State for Women's Services, and our own indefatigable Dr. Tita, the Secretary of State for Health and Social Services. Once again, comrades, you are very welcome, and thanks for accepting to be here with me tonight.
Thank you, Ma Comfort, for having us today. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's our pleasure to be here.
Yeah,
greetings, everyone.
Happy Independence Day.
Happy Independence Day, sis. Thank you. Welcome you all once again. So thank you, guys. Why are we here anyway? I just want to give a 2-second brief summary of why we are here. Everybody has a story to tell, and by the time we go around, we would have known exactly what is happening. So it is 5 years down the line that the Ambazonia liberation struggle started, guys, and we all remember it started as a peaceful protest whereby learned professionals of noble profession, I would say, like lawyers and teachers, came out to protest in demand for basic rights. And they met with violence from a government that does not see humanity in any human being but themselves. Our young boys and girls, middle-aged and elderly people equally came out to the streets on the 22nd of September 2017, chanting no violence with peace plans in their hands. But behold, what happened? the nowhere to be found octogenarian dictator Paul Biya Bivondo of Yaoundé responded by officially waging war on the people of Ambazonia. And what happened? A state-sponsored terrorists were put in place to implement the violence just as good as they know how to do it. And here we are, faced with an intense Ambazonia Cameroonese armed conflict. A conflict that has left scars in the hearts of every Ambazonian. So we are here tonight to present to you the humanitarian disaster perpetrated by these monsters on our suffering people. And once again, the honor to have these three people here. Guys, join in the conversation. This is our story. Everybody tells it from their own perspective, and we make sure the world hears us. So once again, dear comrades, you are very welcome. And I'll give you a second to say hello, a word of greeting, why not, to our dear people before we go ahead. Pastor Commando, you can go first, Mape, and then Dr. Tita. One second each, just say hello to our guest or to our audience. Thank you.
Hello to the people of Ambazonia. You have come a long way and you are getting closer. Very soon, you are landing physically. It has been given to us already in the spiritual. God bless you.
Thank you. Mape.
Yeah, greetings, my fellow Ambazonians watching from all over the world. Special greetings to those who are on ground zero and ground one. Yes, indeed, Pastor Commando said it right. We've come a long way. We're on this journey to Buea, and we will get there surely. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mape. Dr. Tita.
Yeah, greetings, fellow Southern Cameroonians, fellow Ambazonians all over the world. Before I say a word, I would really like to thank you, Mark Comfort, for inviting us here today to come and talk about the atrocities that have been committed by the regime in neighboring French Cameroon in Ambazonia. We know for a fact that this struggle has been going on for some time now, but there is hope, despite all the atrocities that they are committing on the ground. One thing that we can guarantee all Southern Cameroonians on the ground is that French Cameroon, the regime in French Cameroon, will pay for the atrocities that they're committing on the ground. This revolution, we are right at the top, the best place that we can ever be in this struggle. We are winning, and we will defeat French Cameroon in this war. Thank you.
Of course, thank you, Dr. Tita. Thank you all, as Pastor Commando and Mape rightly said. When I was just watching the crowd of 2017 in Babanke, one of the things he said loud and clear was, as this flag is going up, it will never come down again. One I don't know right now as I speak is whether he is still alive. But if he's gone, glory be to God. His little son is definitely still alive. And we will go on and on because Ambazonia is here to stay. Let's go back to business, dear team. So the unfortunate thing about the revolution, sorry that I call it a revolution, the struggle, the armed struggle here, is that severally some people of good heart have described our struggle like the most abandoned conflict ever seen, the most abandoned humanitarian situation in history. Yet no one is doing anything, even though they say it. The media houses are ignoring. Nothing is happening. Even their love language of breaking news, we have breaking news every second, but nobody cares. They do selective hearing about breaking news. However, we have chosen, because we are capable, to be our own BBC. We have chosen to be our own CNN and Al Jazeera and so on. Of course, naturally, nobody can tell your story more than you can, because you are the victim here. You are the one going through all the torture and everything. So talking about the humanitarian crisis in Amazonia, dear people, I would like you to let the whole world to know, because right now, as I speak, even the people who ignore us, they watch us here every second. Help us help them, tell them what they already know that is going on. What are exactly the atrocities meted on our people, on Ambazonians, by the Franco-Bulu sponsored terrorists? Let the world know. So if you can go first, Mape, I would really appreciate, just in your own words, what can you remember of the atrocities?
Well, there's a lot to remember. In fact, one of the reasons that some of us got involved in this struggle for independence is because of the atrocities we saw. You know, after the teachers and lawyers went on a strike, I remember how they were treated right at that moment as second-class citizens, pulled away, carried off to jail, as if there were no people to express their own visions and goals. And then beyond that, after Paul Biya declared war on the 30th of November 2017, hell broke loose. Everything fell apart because you can remember incidents like Mami Api, Baby Martha, and even before then, our young girls, university students, being forced to crawl in mud, in sewage, and the army of occupation, Paul Biya's army of occupation, watching and laughing. That tells us that we are not citizens. We are cockroaches, roaches. And before they commit genocide on the people, they already make people understand that those are not human beings. We are not similar to Francophones. So, of course, we need to be eliminated. We think about our girls that had to run away from their homes and use moss plant as pads in the bushes. We think about women giving birth to babies in the bushes. We think about baby Martha, who experienced bullets from La Republique Army. Innocent baby. Who knows what baby Martha would have been years to come? We think about the baby that was thrown in palm oil. Think about your grandmother. We think only about Mami Api, but there were other grandparents that were burnt to ashes because they could not run away from La Republique. We think about our young girls, women, being gang raped by these vicious individuals called human beings in La Republique. That were murdered during the Gabu massacre. We think about women giving birth to babies in the bushes. It goes on and on. Who can watch all of this and see all of this and not be part of the process to remedy the situation, to stop the situation, to make those who have done this accountable? As Dr. Tita Riley said, La Republique will pay for this. Every single life that has been lost because of this war will be accounted for by La Republique someday. There's no turning back. Those lives cannot be brought back. That could be me lying there with my baby. It could be your sister lying there with a baby. What becomes of that baby? What becomes of all the orphans that have come about because of this war? What becomes of them? What becomes of them? So we have to get involved and fight this fight till the bitter end. Because for one thing, if the truth is on your side and God is on your side, nothing else matters. We push on and push on till we get to Buea. Generally, women bear the brunt of any war. If you look at throughout history, women are the ones that bear the brunt. We have ethnic cleansing going on, where most of our women have left the comfort of their homes in villages and have escaped to La Republique or neighboring La Republique and are working as indentured servants, working in La Republique farms and making tiny amounts of money just to be able to put food on the table or have food in their mouth. What is that? We are hardworking people. We lived a good life before La Republique came and messed things for us. In fact, even before this recent movement for us to get our independence, some of us who were born in the 60s, 50s, we know how things used to be. We know how what they call West Cameroon in those days, we know how things used to be. We had very clean hospitals, very clean schools, respect for everyone, until La Republic came in and destroyed everything. So it is torture out there for our people, but we have to stay the course, because every single life that has been lost must be accounted for, must be paid for by La Republic. And we will get to Buea. It's, of course, certain we will get to Buea. We are almost there. Thank you, Ma Rachel.
Comfort. Thank you, Mape. Thank you so much.
My comfort. I'm sorry. I'm so used to Ma Rachel. I do apologize.
There's no difference anyway. It's the same person, so we can accept any names anytime. So thank you, Mape. The list is inexhaustive indeed, right? And what we cannot understand is how the big TV houses do not understand their love language anymore. Breaking news, breaking news, breaking news. But we will tell our story because we know our story. Pastor Commando, what else do you have to add to what Mape has just said?
Sincerely, with such a question, it's difficult to outline the atrocity that is going on, and the entire world is sitting in a conspiracy of silence. I would want to let all of us, especially those who have the opportunity to listen to ABC TV, that the people of Ambazonia are people that are chosen by God from the foundation of the world. If you look at the geographical setting of the Ambazonian land, you discover that it is standing in between two giants. One is a lion and the other one is a lioness. And we were in the mouth of a lion for 44 years. God being so kind, they did not swallow us. And then we crossed over to a fake union masterminded by France and Britain to give us over to the lioness. And I'm told that the lioness is more vicious than the lion. And that's what La République du Cameroun has turned out to be to us. As we are talking here, I think none of us has any animosity or grudge against La République du Cameroun. But we want to tell them that we are still gentlemen as they met us. And what we have put on the table for them is let's discuss so that we can end this terrible war that they have brought to us. But guess what? Our being gentlemen and being honest and being sincere does not mean that we are weak and that we have no means of getting a hold of them. It is just beginning. The atrocity they have made in southern Cameroons cannot be counted by humans. This one is very true. I put my head down and I was trying to just imagine for the past 5 years, when I hear Ambazonians and some people who call themselves that they are human whatever, saying that since the beginning of the war, 3,000 or 30,000 have been killed, I just wonder. Unfortunately, I did not study mathematics in school. I did arithmetic. And just putting down a few figures, I'm counting that we have more than 90,000 people who have gone just at the beginning of 2016 when this epidemic, I call it epidemic, started. Now, I'm not going to go back to the annals of history, oh my God, to tell you exactly what has happened since 60 years that we have been with La République du Cameroun. They have killed in their hundreds of thousands, if not in millions, for the past 60 years. Because they've been knocking down everybody that comes up to talk about the right of other people to live. Time will fail me to let the world know that the conspiracy of silence that is sitting down there, we are not unaware. As a physical and a spiritual person, I've discovered that when you are not having a power that is more than the adversary that is coming against you, you will have to bow. La République has used metaphysics, has used occultic powers and other hypnotic and bribery to close the mouth of those who can speak. Time will fail me to tell you of the Commonwealth Secretary General Time will fail me to tell you about Guterres. Time will fail me to tell you about some of the finest men in the society whom we think that when they hear of the suffering of other people, they will step in to say something. But when they landed in Cameroon, being an occultic land, they did all that they did, and they went back and their mouths were closed. They came for fact-finding, and the findings found them fact. And so they went back and sat in the conspiracy of silence. But I won't fail to tell you that after their magic and other fraternal powers were failing, they had to bring in the services of the Grand Master. When they discovered that the resistance that La Ambazonia has come in has never been in the past 40-something or 50-something years. So they were so shocked that in the almost 50 years of our enslavement, they now brought in the Grand Master. And when he came, he did a few things in Yaoundé and went back. They decided that no, he has not reached the point. He can neutralize the spiritual entities and the powers that be in Ambazonia. And so they transported him to Bamenda. When he touched the land of Bamenda and carried the soil of Bamenda, the God of heaven, to whom in 2018, the president of the Federal Republic of Ambazonia, Dr. Samuel Sarko Ekome, handed over that land to God. He carried the soil of God and carried God. And guess what? When he went back to Malta, to where he came from, his demise was announced. He died 76 years old. I mean, younger than Paul Biya, who has been the man who is exchanging. Now, Paul Biya started another strategy. All these military men that are dying in Ambazonia.
Okay, Pastor Commando. Pastor Commando, let us just place a bookmark here because we'll come back to this chapter again. So that said, thank you so much. And I appreciate because the panelists, or sorry, I'll call them panelists, but we are all panelists. We are all involved in this conversation, our audience alike. So let's hear from Dr. Tita. How would you take up a step back, Dr. Tita? We are our own journalists. Tell the people what you can remember of the atrocities meted on our people by the monsters across the Mungu.
Thank you very much, Ma Comfort. Like Pastor Commando just said, the atrocities are so many. But please, let me, before I get to the atrocities, let me take us back to the report that was published by the Norwegian Refugee Council, as you clearly stated, that the crisis in Ambazonia is the least reported by Western media. And one thing I want to say about this, is, which is a factual statement, that the Western media is not reported. And this report came out in early 2019. That's 2 years ago. So, but one thing I know for sure is that their report that they published did not discourage any Southern Cameroonians. I must say this because our communication department, and alongside ABC, alongside most of our activists, have been doing a phenomenal job to make sure that they show the world all the atrocities that are being committed by French Cameroon in Ambazonia. And this must be noted. I also want to state that even though that report came out, it did not even discourage Southern Cameroonians in the diaspora. We drafted the most every year. We've drafted last year, and we've 2020, and we've drafted this year. The most action, based on my assessment, that have been seen in this revolution in Ground Zero and in the diaspora has been done this year recently. So that their report really didn't have any impact on any Southern Cameroonians at all. And we will not allow the Western world to talk for us. That's a fact. Yep. The fact is that neighboring French Cameroon is committing numerous atrocities in our land. They have consistently and continuously arrested, torture, and detain our people for no crime of their own, for just being a Southern Cameroonian. I say this as a matter of fact. The teachers have been arrested, the lawyers have been arrested, even the Bayam Selams have been arrested, the journalists have been arrested because of the fact that they are Southern Cameroonians. Even medical doctors have been ferried from Boya, arrested from Boya into neighboring La République du Cameroun, in Kondengi prison. So this is not only even the medical doctors, even the lawyers. They arrest people. They arrest people in their land and take them into a foreign country that speaks a foreign language, that has a different law system, that has nothing to do with them. So these are the atrocities that La République du Cameroun has been committing on our people on a daily basis. I say this even as a matter of fact, that even Southern Cameroonians that had migrated into neighboring French Cameroon and that identified themselves, and are professionals that identified themselves as Southern Cameroonians, were being arrested and detained because of the fact that they are Southern Cameroonians. That's how wicked the regime is. We have the data, and La Republique is not going to get away with this. This is a fact. It's not only them that have to document. We are documenting here at HSS. We are documenting here at this interim government, and they will pay a huge price for it. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Tita. You just ended on a very sweet note. We are documenting as HSS and as a government, right? One thing is clear. Ambazonia has got everything it takes to be a country of its own. That is why we can be journalists when we want to be. We can be medical doctors because we have them. We can be pharmacists. We can be teachers. We can be pastors. We can be anything. That is homeland for us. Mentally, we are home. We are just waiting for this thing of a paper to be signed, and home here we come. So that said, we are moving on. The topic for tonight is the humanitarian disaster. Let's stay on course, get our people fed, get sympathizers of the Ambazonian liberation struggle, know what exactly we are going through and what we need. So that said, Dr. Tita, if you can, from your office, can you give us an estimate of about how many refugees maybe we have in Nigeria, approximately how many, if you could just let us know. People need to know so that they know where they can help, how they can help.
Thank you very much, Mark Comfort, for that question. After the protests of the lawyers and the teachers, the students that were met with so much resistance, we all know that at some point in December in 2017, the colonial SDO in Manu issued out a communique asking fellow Southern Cameroonians to leave from the comfort of their home into areas, into neighboring countries that they have no idea on how to even get there. I mean, how did the colonial SDO even think that that was something appropriate to do? But not only that, after that, they came up with their military. So those that, lucky enough for some people that left into neighboring Nigeria, and those that didn't leave were met with all of these military and the killings. That's where it all started. And they were forced to leave to Nigeria. So at the moment, because of all the atrocities that La Republique is committing on the ground, that has pushed our people from the comfort of their home into neighboring Nigeria, mostly, and to other Central African countries. The data that we have right now, we have over 125,000 Southern Cameroonians living in neighboring Nigeria as refugees. The UNHCR is reporting that we have a number of about 65,000. That's the number that they have registered. Remember that there are plenty of Southern Cameroonians there that are still not registered. Over 50,000, 55,000 are still not registered by the UNHCR because of one reason or another. And I'm going to say this when it comes to the challenges, that they stop either registration or actually even stop renewal, because they saw the numbers that were coming out of Southern Cameroon because of the ongoing genocide. The numbers are just too much for them to register, because that will show exactly to the world what is actually going on. So for now, we're having over 125,000 Southern Cameroonians as refugees in neighboring Nigeria.
This is important, Dr. Tita. Fortunately or unfortunately, I'm going to put you on a spotlight for a few seconds. Team, bear with me. Yeah, but one thing I will appreciate those people who are not reporting at all, that is honesty. Because nothing can be more annoying than them sit out there and distort facts. It's better they stay quiet where they are, because we will do the reporting, we will do the documentation. That said, they are not giving us the real figures, what people need to know. Do you know approximately how many we have as internally displaced or as prisoners of conscience? You have been dealing with all of this. If you have an approximate, just let us know, let the world know, because we need help, reason for which we are here.
Yes, thank you very much, Mark Comfort. Ever since the beginning of 2017, the numbers that we have just keep going up and up on a daily basis. It's never gone down. So let no one ever lie to us. The only thing they can do is maybe stop recording the numbers or try get the numbers and try not to report it to the right quarters. But ever since 2017, when this all started, we've recorded over 2 million people internally and externally displaced. Why do I say internally and externally displaced? Because there are people displaced within Ambazonia, and there are people that have been displaced to Nigeria and neighboring La République du Cameroon. Those that have been displaced, we have over 300,000 people displaced to neighboring French Cameroon. And that's one of the worst things. As refugees in a foreign country, in a foreign land, foreign language, a system that they have no clue about, and the international community does not even recognize them. That is one of the greatest challenges that we are facing. The international community does not even recognize them to even give them any type of support. So our people are there suffering on the street in a French country that they have no clue or knowledge about how to speak or communicate in that country, and can't get any help from the United Nations or whatsoever. And if identified as giving help or getting help from other fellow Ambazonians, becomes a target. So the United Nations need to do something, and they need to do something quickly.
Fine.
Thank
we
you.
will get there, Dr. Tita. No rush. Oh, all right. Do you want to chip in something? Because I was going to take over the microphone to Mape right now. You need
no, that's fine. I just wanted to elaborate, emphasize again on that number that we're having over 300,000 refugees in neighboring French Cameroon, over 125 in Nigeria. We have over 1.5 million internally displaced in Ambazonia itself.
Yes, Mape, you want to speak now, right?
Yes.
We understand when they say people have been fleeing violence to neighboring Nigeria. What makes people flee from Ambazonia to La République du Cameroon? What was the reason for the internally and externally displacement that Dr. Tita is talking about? What made them flee or leave their homes?
Yes. Well, what makes them leave their homes is easy. Most of these people have left their homes because their homes were burnt down. Their homes were burnt down, and so they have no place to stay. Some of them are afraid for their lives. La République Army of Occupation is in our region, targeting our young sons and daughters and women and killing them. Now, I want to touch on something, which is ethnic cleansing. When this continues to happen, we have people that leave our land, go to La République area, and get mingled with the population there. They are a minority. They will soon disappear if nothing happens. Eventually, La République comes into our land, encroaches on our land, and takes ownership of the land. Think about it. All that area in Kwakwa that has been burned down, if nothing happens down the road, and La République citizens end up having possession of that land, what becomes of the people that used to live there? They are gone. So we need to understand that this war, this struggle for independence is really a survival of our people that had a different origin. We came from a different culture. We were never similar to La République. That's why from the very beginning, they did not appreciate us as one, as they are. And so it has supported to a war for the survival of the fittest. And they are living there as servants. You have people, you have our girls that are prostitutes on the street, our young girls.
Yes.
They were doing fine in universities. They were doing fine at home, going to school. But now, some of them do not even know where their parents are. You have 12 years old, 13 years old. Their parents have been killed, and they have to leave. And they are taken advantage of by men, and they have no choice. So these are fleeing for their lives, primarily, and they need somewhere to take care of. Some of them are moving with minor kids that they have to feed their kids. So it's really a dire situation. And if we do not continue on this path to get to Buea, all that population will just end up mingling with La République and end up being slaves to La République, because they will not have the potential to come back to their land and own the land. It's a terrible situation.
All right. Thank you, Mape. I know that in a few minutes from now, we shall be breaking up, we shall be having a quick break. But before we do that, Pastor Commando, I would like you to cue in. Mape has said two things that I would like you to emphasize on. She says our people who are internally displaced are in the conditions they are in because their homes were burnt down. And secondly, she is hypothesizing, if I'm using the right word here, that in due course, La République may come over to fill this land that our people have abandoned and moved over out of desperation. What do you have to add to confirm the fact that truly they lost their homes, and through what means? And what do you think about the fear that these people are using a tactic so that they flood over and take our land? Pastor Commando, please.
Yeah, thank you very much, my comfort. Like Dr. Tita said, when the colonial SGO issued an order for the people to disappear from their villages, these criminals, they took advantage and started burning the villages so that when they go to where they are, even if there's an opportunity to come back, because of the disheartened and discouragement of their hearts that they have nowhere to go and stay, they will stay out there. And what happens? They will now bring in their colonies and their people to come and occupy our land. And as of now, today, as we are talking, I just made a research, more than 530 villages have been burnt down. These are not just houses, but villages that have been burnt down. If you go to count the number of houses, it will be hundreds of thousands of houses that have been burnt down. And you can know how many people normally stay in a home. 5, 10, 20. Now they are all displaced. Now, when they don't have a place to come back, what is the next thing? Exactly what Patience has mentioned, that they will come in now to take our land. But listen, let me tell you, this land, again, Ambazonia, was not given to us by La République. If the colonial people were really sane, they will know that together we're classified as Class B countries to be annexed. To be independent, and for La République to come in and try to use us and telling us they are giving special status, burning our homes, and shamelessly standing in the United Nations in 2021, in this 21st century, and Bella Mokimbepe yesterday or a few days ago, telling lies that everything has come to an end in the southern Cameroons, which they maliciously call Northwest and Southwest, as they gave the name, telling them that they have started reconstruction in the broad daylight when everything is being clear. It is telling us that they had a plan, like Mapesha has said, to occupy our land. But guess what? The God of heaven, who is in charge of Ambazonia, is watching, and they will never occupy our land. People will continue to be there. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Pastor Commando, for that powerful contribution. As we wait for the technical team to give us a quick break, guys, do not go. Stay tuned. Invite and continue to contribute. Share your idea. Say what you feel, what your experience is, because everybody tells the story from their own perspective. And by the time we put everything together, the world will know exactly where we are coming from. Nobody can tell our story on our behalf, guys. Stay tuned. Continue to share. Who is supposed to be here can only be here. So we wait for the short musical break, and then we will continue from there. So Ambazonia is here to stay. Like our brother Pastor Commando said before, if we chose to be good and they took us for weaklings, we have stood up and we are focused on one thing, and that thing is called Buea. B-U-E-A is a 4-letter word that at its mention, a lot of things go wrong in a 2D. And psychologically, I live in Buea. Nobody takes me back. Nobody moves me. Ambazonia or nothing. And like the president said in his speech of last year, if you cannot let your neighbor to sleep, know that you expect a knock at the door at midnight. We will not stop knocking. We will knock and knock and knock until you give us rest. And we can only find sleep in Amazonia. That is homeland for us. Technician, do something. We want to go for a quick break, and we are not starting anything new until you give us this short break, because I want my panelists to have a cup of drink Guys, bring in more people because we are here to tell our story to the world. We do not need anybody who will come and tell lies on our behalf because we can tell our story. We know how we feel. We know what we are going through. No lie telling. Stay where you are. Thank you because we can tell our story. We can document everything. We have everything it takes. And whoever is new on this platform, watching us either on the satellite or on Facebook, just check on Ambazonia Genocide Library. Check that on Google Ambazonia Genocide Library and see for yourself and see reason why we are here tonight as we celebrate our day. We look into this, we reflect on this, we see where we're coming from, we know exactly where we are going to. So that is Ambazonia for us. That is the struggle for us. And like we said, Ambazonia, we are psychologically free. I am just trying to connect to the technician so that we get this break because I don't want to bring our panelists to start talking and then they get cut off.
Fellow countrymen and women, dear Ambazonians, happy Independence Day. Despite the hike in targeted summary execution of our innocent people by Paul Biya's killer squads, I still believe we are now at the twilight of our political daybreak, emptying the combined worth and wealth of a lifetime fortune into the country of our collective dream. At last, my people, the wind of total liberation is sweeping through Ambazonia, our priceless inheritance. Let's get it straight. The freedom of Ambazonia will not depend on the free will of our enemies. While we reiterate our willingness, readiness, and preparedness to a political mediation and negotiation in the existing international framework under the auspices of the Swiss-led diplomatic initiative, our resolve to statehood is well established in the will and choice of weapons of our people. We have been patient enough on our resolve for dialogue, but not even this piece of virtue in our identity should be taken for granted. The Ambazonia will is disposed to all weapons of political adaptation and survival, from the shores of Bimbia and the heights of Mount Fako, through the valleys of Libialem to the grass fields and the highlands of the north. We rise together, stand together, and work together. Patriotic salute to all our heroes who have gone before us. Patriotic salute to all our valiant Ambazonia Restoration Forces. Freedom greetings to our Ambazonia mothers. Patriotic salute to our fathers. And thank you, Ambazonia. Happy Independence Day. Oh, be proud to say Happy Independence Day to every one of our genocide survivors. Yes, we deserve this. Ambazonia shall be free. Long live Ambazonia. Short live the war. Viva Ambazonia Restoration Forces. Viva the Federal Republic of Ambazonia. And God bless you.
Ambazonia, it is now or never. This generation, our generation, the never again generation, has risen to fall no more. From all around the world, we look forward to October 1st with anticipation as the President of the Federal Republic of Ambazonia, His Excellency Dr. Samuel Ikome Sako will be addressing the nation with nuggets that will project us into the next level of triumph on Thursday evening, September 30th, 2021 at exactly 8 p.m. Amber time from the State House.
We are right in the palace. We have hoisted the flag up. As the flag is going up, means that we have accepted to be one Ambazonian. I'm a Yapo somewhere reporting from Baba Kitungo. Watch and see what is happening in the palace. You see the population, we have about 10,000 people here hoisting the flag. This is our flag. It shall remain here until the day that we have our independence. The day is not far from now. We know 1st October will be the same thing.
So you're saying I can ask this cat any question?
The cat is connected to the computer. You just type in the question, it will read his mind. There the answer comes.
You're the man! I've been looking for this for weeks.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, you are watching a special edition of the Ambazonia, the humanitarian crisis in Ambazonia, as we are at war since 2016. So stay tuned with me once again in the studio. I have our own vibrant Pastor Commando, who is the spiritual director at the presidency. I have Mape Abiedo, who is our Secretary of State for Women's Services, and of course, Dr. Tita of the Human, all right, if I can't say it well, it doesn't mean I don't know it, of the HSS. Dr. Tita, forgive me. Secretary of State for Health and Social Services is His Excellency Dr. Tita, as you can see him on the screen. Thank you, team. Thank you. Welcome back again. And of course, oh yeah, let's go, because tonight we will tell our story. Ambazonians, stay glued to the screen. Tell your story, because the world must hear us. We speak and speak louder because we are speaking the truth. We are stating facts. We are saying, we are relating the story from the first person's perspective. This is what I have gone through. So let us go. Now, Dr. Tita, back to you. You, at some point, you made mention that about 55% of our refugees in Nigeria have been registered under the United Nations Humanitarian Commission on Human Rights. And what about the rest? Also, if I get you well, and if I got your figures correctly, does it mean that this 55% of our population in Nigeria are being taken care of by the UNHCR, and the interim government takes care of the 45%, or how does it all function?
Yeah, thank you very much again once more, Mark Comfort, for that good question. Like I said earlier, that 52% have been registered by the UNHCR, which is the number that they gave us. The number that's out there is 65,486. But the numbers that we have is about 125,000 as refugees that are there. But the numbers that they have registered is 65,000, and that is about 52% of the people that have registered. Now, though the number that they are registered and the number that they are taking care of is different. They're taking care of those in the UNHCR registered settlements, and that is just about 27,000 people that they have in the settlements. The rest are living within the local communities. So they've registered them, they're in the local communities, but they're not getting any kind of support. So only about 27,000 is getting that support, which is about 22% of the total number of refugees that are in Nigeria. And you would think that this support is something that they will give them regularly, but no, it's not like that. Initially, when they started, when this all started, they started registering the refugees. They were giving them, the CDI was about 7,200, and then it was later on reduced, and now most recently it was reduced to 2,600. And you would think that even the 2,600 they received them, but no, the 2,600 naira. 2,600 naira.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. So initially it was 7,200 naira a month that they were giving to the registered refugees in the settlement. And then it was later on reduced to 5,000, reduced to 3,000 naira. And then now just most recently, they reduced it to 2,600 naira per month. But they still are not even providing that. For the past 5 months, they've not received any support from the UNHCR. So it makes it very challenging. And this is just the few that are supposed to get it. It makes it very challenging for our people living there in Nigeria.
Dr. Tita,
so
just hold on. I want us to comment on something because it is disturbing. If we don't take time to treat this well, our people would think that we are just here to entertain people, but it is not entertainment. We are trying to let you know what we are going through, what our people are going through. Does this further sound like more of this conspiracy? Pastor Commando, you have been hitting hard on conspiracy. What does it mean when they give you 7,000 and take it down to some 3,000, this and then now about 2,600? And just this little 26 out of over 100,000. Does it sound like conspiracy, more conspiracy from the part of the UN, or what? Can you comment on this? It is sad, but we need to explain it well to our people and well wishers because we need support. We badly need support. Pastor Commando, just comment on that really quick before we go ahead, please.
Okay. I think this is really, I think if I call it conspiracy, it will be an understatement. I think they will forgive me if I call it wickedness, because the 7,200 naira you are talking about $18. You're talking about $18. And it sounds like it's that's why I was asking Dr. Tita whether it was $2,600, then that would be fine. But $18 for 7,200. Let me tell you how much is the 2,600 that they are giving them now. How much is it in dollars? If they were giving them 7,200 is $18, then I'm telling you the 2,600 naira that they are talking about $6.
A month.
$6 a month.
A month.
$6 a
All
month.
right.
$6 a month.
Yes.
So
okay.
I think that please, our people are going through very tough times, and since La Republic has started maltreating them by taking away almost everything that they had, even in their land, and they get out and they are still experiencing this thing that we are talking about now, I think it is time we fight to the end. Nobody is going to die. We are not all going to die. We must get back to our land. Our land alone, we all know, has been the breadbasket of La République du Cameroon. And they know it. And that's why they are doing everything possible to make sure that they continue to subjugate us under bondage. And you all know they first started by destroying our infrastructure. Now they have burned houses. And then not only burning houses, going ahead to burn houses with people inside. Why don't you tell people to run away?
All right. I'm taking it back. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, Pastor Commando, I want to go back to Dr. Tita. Dr. Tita, I could not help but interrupt you. Bear with me. We will make it up. Right. So now back to you. We have heard, and it's like ridiculous. We know that we have more at hand to do than we thought we needed to do. Right. So now what so far has the interim government been doing? I want to say the interim government because HSS is just one of the institutions within the government, even though at the forefront of everything. So what have you been doing to help these people in Nigeria? Dr.
Yeah,
Tita.
Thank you very much, Mark Comfort, for that question. Thanks to the great leadership of His Excellency Dr. Samuel Ikome Sako, who is the president, and thanks to the great leadership of those in the department as well. I mean, I must say that we have an excellent team in HSS. But not only that, thanks to the generosity of every single Southern Cameroonians in the diaspora for the support that they have been providing to this interim government for us to be able to reach out to our suffering people on the ground. The Department of Health and Social Services, under the interim government humanitarian project, we have reached out to over 60,000 Southern Cameroonians since October 1st of last year. We visited all of the registered UNHCR camp in Nigeria for food distribution, for health, medication, and for clothing, for mattresses, and for most of the things that the request that comes through the department. But it's still not enough. Because we have about 97,000 people that are not receiving support from the UNHCR, that are still sitting there, that need some kind of support, that lives within the community. So we're still continuously making efforts to reach out to our people for support. I know for a fact that the HSS or the humanitarian draft should be coming up very soon. Our great resource mobilization team are working on that. Thanks to Irene and Nijo, they're working on our HSS draft that should be coming up very soon, and we will continue to reach out. This interim government, under the leadership of His Excellency Dr. Samuel Ikome Sako, will continue to reach out to every single Southern Cameroonians in the neighboring Nigeria and even in neighboring French Cameroon as well. One refugee settlement or one community at a time. So please, if anyone is having any challenges or if there is any community that we've not been able to reach out to, please reach out to us at HSS to let us know that there is Southern Cameroonians in any community over there that we can reach out to. I will make sure that we reach out to them. It's our commitment to our people. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Dr. Tita. That was really brilliant. I add my voice to appreciate whoever has ever chipped in a dime, right? To contribute to take care of our suffering people. That said, Pastor Commando, you just heard Dr. Tita speak. Do you want to comment on the report he has just given about what support they have been giving? Just say something.
Yes, I think that when we talk about conspiracy, we suddenly come down to think that United Nations actually is conspiring, that what they would have done to separate us, as they did to other countries since 1946, that they started the process of setting people free, they came to us and they entered into a conspiracy. And even at this moment that we are at crisis, they are still conspiring in that they are not helping our people. Maybe this is now commandoism. Maybe they are also joining with La République du Cameroon that we should all die, and then they cannot take over the land and do whatever they want to do. And that's why they are not supporting our people, even in this crisis, the way they're supposed to support them. I think that with what the interim government is doing is just an indication that not only our land is good enough to sustain us to the end, but that even while our people are suffering externally and internally and externally displaced, we are still putting an eye on them to make sure that there is a remnant that is going to survive. So that when that remnant survives, our land will definitely become our land. So whatever conspiracy is going on there, I want to thank the interim government for the structures, the governmental structures they have put in place, especially the HSS, with viable and consensus men like Dr. Tita and his team to put things in order. And Ambazonia is standing and will stand.
Oh, thank you so much for that great and powerful support, Pastor Commando. So, Mape, if I've been keeping you there, you don't think you're free because you are here to speak. Time for you to put on the spotlight. Now, come on. I heard it. I was listening, right? The reports from the videos we watched before we finally started our show. One of the guys in the refugee camps says the majority of the refugees they have out there are widows and orphans. I know what that means to you, and because it means the same to me, right? So what has your department of women's services been doing so far to help this situation?
Thank you, my comfort. I just wanted to piggyback on what Pastor Commando said before I answer your question. In terms of why that amount of money has dwindled from 7,000 naira to 2,000. I believe it's a conspiracy, but a conspiracy to force our people to go back to La Republique and serve as slaves. Because if they cannot survive on 2,000 naira in a foreign land, then they will be forced to go back to whatever they can do in La Republique. That is what I think is happening. But back to your question in terms of what the Women's Department is doing. So in 2019, after the Berlin conference, the ASS Ambazonia Strategic Stakeholder Conference in Berlin, our president, Dr. Samuel Ikomi Sako, had the wisdom to create this department because of the importance of women in nation building. So the vision at that time was to get women involved in every aspect of our struggle. And for our department being a new department, we have struggled quite a while to get our women involved, because most of the women were already involved in different departments in their LGAs and counties. With that said, it became incumbent upon us to find ways of raising funds to help our women, our widows, our orphans. So in 2019, the very first fundraising we did was the Be an Angel Christmas fundraising, where we raised some money. And we're just testing the waters, and that the funds from that wasn't that big enough to do much, but we decided to split it to all the counties and gave a little bit for the counties to give to those who needed it the most, to help them with Christmas. The amount of money we raised at that time was about $6,000. So it's a drop of water in the bottle, right? It's not that much. And then in 2020, last year, while commemorating the Gabu massacre, we had another event whenever we meet together for something, we try to raise funds. I think I misspoke. The next time we had a major fundraising, yes, that was a time that we decided to see whether we can start building money to support. So the Women's Department is focused on helping people fish for themselves. I applaud what HSS is doing to help people as they need it, to feed them, to give them clothing. We believe that because we're a small department, we'd rather raise funds and give people to be able to get businesses, or be able to make more money for themselves. So we've reached out to the different LGAs and counties for them to provide widows to us, and we're dealing mostly with widows, right? We're dealing mostly with widows because they don't really have much going for them. Their husbands have gone, and most of them are there with 1 or 2 or 3 kids that they have to support. So we've reached out to the different LGAs and asked them to send these widows to our department, where we have this program called Southern Cameroonian Widows Empowerment Program, SCUP, Southern Cameroon's Widows Empowerment Program. So these women are interviewed and asked what exactly they want to do. Some of them want to do petite business. Some of them want to sell puff-puff. Some of them want to sew. So based on that, we have a budget and we give them the money, and it's a one-time money, sum of money. This is yours. Do it and be able to raise money from them. Don't come back to us because we have to reach out to other people. So that's basically what we've been doing. And last year, before I go detail into where this is going to, last year we did another fundraising for Christmas.
Right.
Now, this time we did it differently. We asked women to be able to reach out to friends and families to support different counties and LGAs. And we were looking for the areas that needed help the most to buy food in the form of rice, salt, Maggi, fish, for them to just enjoy for Christmas, that their sisters were thinking about them. And during that endeavor, we were able to raise about $6,000. Let me go back that the women's the Southern Cameroon Widows Empowerment Program, when we launched it, we raised $10,000 as a seed money. But beyond that, you guys are aware of the launching of Echoes for Women's Tears. That is where the bulk of the money is coming from. Echoes of Women's Tears, which we launched this past July 2021, was based on some women in the struggle for independence writing chapters in the book to sell to our fellow Ambazonians, to sell to foreigners. And this does two things. It tells them about our story. So we're telling our story to our foreigners and also raising funds. It's an ongoing initiative where the book is there on Amazon and people are buying the book. And the proceeds coming from this book are mainly for this Southern Cameroon's Widows Empowerment Program. Now, let me say that in terms of the refugees themselves in Nigeria, we haven't really touched them much. We are just basically getting connected to some of them as we speak. We have connection with Rachel, the Undersecretary of Women's Department, is liaising with somebody there, and we have some women already sending in their names with what they intend to do. So we will empower them to be able to fish for themselves. We don't believe in just giving them the money to buy food. We believe in giving them money to be able to build upon that money, and that's what we are doing. We've also been able to send money to prisons to help the women that are in the different prisons, in Douala, in Kondingi, in Buea. We've been able to send money to the women for them to help. Some of them needed money for medical help assistance. Some of them needed money just to be able to buy little hygienic things that women need, and that we've also done. So we are trying to build our fund, because if we have a lot of money, we can do more. But it's a small department, it's a young department, and right now we're doing the best we can.
Wow, Mape, you are really a star. How did Dr. Sako know you were going to be the head of this department? Because you have every bit of information. I was just smiling. I was just laughing because I knew you were not going to say it all. I have an idea because I'm always there, but I can't say even half of those things. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Team.
Yeah, Marford,
Sure, Dr. Tita, 1 second, you are going to come back. Those who have been watching and listening to Mape, what is that one thing she said that struck you? She said, it struck me too, even though I knew because I'm there when we do that. What particular thing did she say that really strikes you? Write it here on the comment section. I'm going to check. I know how many of you are here. Say it and say, thank you, Mape. Thank you, the Department of Women's Services. So, Dr. Tita, I want to give you to room to chip to something. Mape's team is based on empowerment. This is so special. They believe in giving them, in teaching them how to fish and not to give them fish. What do you want to add? I know that you can't wait for me to hand over the microphone over to you, sir.
Thank you very much. I want to take a moment to thank Secretary of State Dr. Patience Abiedu and Deputy Secretary Rachel for the great work that they're doing in the Women's Department. They are doing an excellent job as a team in making sure that they reach out to our women and our widows, like she clearly stated. Please, I just wanted to talk on one thing, the conspiracy that she had made mention about maybe the UNHCR reducing the amount of money that they give to our people in an effort to make our people to return back. I know that the UNHCR has produced some communiques stating that the reasons as to why they're reducing these funds, that stating that they don't have enough funds, they don't have enough sponsors to sponsor these projects, But I want to talk to our people that it could be tough, yes. And I'm glad, we are truly glad that they are staying strong in Nigeria. All of our refugees in Nigeria have a role they are playing in this revolution. And I say this to them, no one should ever convince or try to convince or pay you to go back home. They'll say, no, you are not going back. Just being there in neighboring Nigeria as a refugee, it's your role that you are playing in the struggle. Just like those in Ground Zero, they are playing their own role. And just like some of us in the diaspora, we are playing our own unique role for the success of this revolution or for this struggle. And sooner or later, and not too long from today, you will see that the sacrifices that we are all making, it was worth it. Rest assured that this interim government, under the leadership of His Excellency Dr. Samuel Ikome Sako, is working hard, is working extremely hard on how to rehabilitate our Southern Cameroonian population immediately after this war is over. Rest assured that you'll be taken care of and well taken care of than you can ever imagine. Thank you.
All right.
I
Dr.
needed to put that.
Yeah, thank you. All right. Pastor Commando, I would equally like you, of course. Guys, as you are watching, I want to say thank you to Lost Pattern. How can we contribute to this program? This is my love language. When I hear the word contribute, I get a bit distracted or attracted to that. I'm not distracted, I'm attracted to the word contribute. Please just watch out on the screen. Technical team, do me a favor. I don't know why it did not happen before now. While we are here, guys, once again, it is not for entertainment. We are just smiling to cover the pain that is in here, because if we don't smile, we will not be able to communicate ourselves to you. But we are in excruciating pain. Please, even $1 that you chip in tonight, do not think that it's small. With $1, we can buy 5 toothbrushes in Nigeria. And if you don't chip it in, those children will go the morning without brushing their teeth. Please, dear technical team, put the payment options on the screen, because somebody might like to support us. If you think that you want to empower a woman, be it in the refugee camps, in one of the bushes down there in Ambazonia where there is no electricity, they are living under the trees, let us know. Call me. I am here all the time. Tell me that you want to reach out to MAPE or to the HSS or anyhow you want to. Please talk to us, but payment options will be put on the screen. Kindly chip it, anything, and we really do appreciate that. We appreciate. Pastor Commando, I was going to ask, how do you feel when MAPE sits here and says her own intention with her team is to empower people? To say you are a widow, you lost your husband to this senseless war. Here is a widow's mite for you and your family to start off life with. What comments do you want to make about that, please?
I want to say that that is not MAPE's doing, because we say this is God's revolution. God gave her that divine wisdom, because the adage says that teach the person how to fish, and don't give the person fish, because the person will come back to you tomorrow. And MAPE and Ma Rachel, they fully understand this, because widows and orphans have become victims of sexual harassment and other bondages, because they are trying only to eat. But when they have a means of subsistence, they can be able to undergo whatever they are suffering now. And I want to also say all the games of La Republic, they fail, because if they had left their houses unburnt and they come now with money to entice them to go back, they would have been going back knowing that they have a house to go and enter. So whatever La Republic is doing, they are working for our good, to make us to know that they want us to fully get ready before we come back in our land that is free of any involvement with them as La Republic of Cameroon. So MAPE, once again, I doff my cap for you and your team for that wonderful wisdom that God gave to you guys. Thank you.
Pastor Commando, you don't know why I
Thank you, Pastor.
Mapo, I don't know, Mapo, why am I taking your space? Just leave a man talk, right? See, everything works for good indeed. You know what? Some of us grew up knowing we have never seen. I don't know. We don't know about tarred road like until we fell bush and see that some roads really look this good. It works for good, because when they did not tar the roads, they say we were not human enough to deserve good roads. Look at when they go to Lebialem, how can they come back when there are no roads? Only field marshal can walk those streets. That is why they go as humans and come back as things in the plastic envelopes.
Right.
Yes. That's just it. You know, when they send us out, they burn the houses to make sure we don't come back. We only come back to Amazonia. Everything works for good. Because all of the burnings and so there are times I just say, thank you, Lord. We're just trying to erase everything that has ever put us together with the devil because we're coming up with a new life. Right. That's just Amazonia for us guys. So, Mape, actually, it is Dr. Tita's turn, but I'm giving you 30 seconds to tell the people who are watching us now what is the least amount you could need to empower one woman. For example, if a woman says, I want to start frying puff puff and beans and selling, I need a bag of flour, I need sugar, I need sawdust and yes, how much do you need to give this lady? Because somebody may want to support us now, who knows?
Oh, that's a great question, Mark Comfort. The least amount that we've given to any woman is $70,000. I mean, 70,000 CFA. $70,000.
Right.
70,000 CFA. So that's
Colonia
what
CFA.
they can take to start. Yeah.
Yes. All right. Thank you. Thank you so much. This is good to know. Guys, convert 70,000 colonial franc CFA to dollars and see what that gives us. Give it to us and we'll give it to a lady whose husband has been shot in a reckless war. Thank you, Mape. Dr. Tita, over to you now. What have been your main challenges? Because you talked just within it 1 minute, you would mention challenges like 70 times 7. What have been your main challenges dealing with our refugees, our IDPs, our prisoners of war, Dr. Tita?
Thank you very much, Mark Comfort, for that great question. The challenges we face at the level of the Department of Health and Social Services of this interim government are enormous. Where am I going to start? Is it at the level of the refugees in neighboring Nigeria? Or is it at the level of the refugees in neighboring French Cameroon that are not recognized? Or is it at the level of HSS, the department itself? I mean, the challenges are so many. But one thing I wanted our people to know, just to emphasize and to inform our people, is the challenges that our people are facing on the ground as refugees. What the first greatest challenge is the ability to get registered, like I said before, as refugees, because that is what gives them the freedom. That's what gives them the freedom to move around freely. You know, or that's what even gives them the freedom to be able to get a little bit of support. Registration had stopped. The UNHCR has stopped registering refugees forever since a year or so ago. But not only that, even the refugees that were already registered before and their cards have expired, they still have not been able to renew it. I mean, it's so much. These refugees are being harassed by the Nigerian security officials because of the fact that their registration card has expired, or because of the fact that they are not registered yet. And these are all things that are not within their control. These are all things that are not within their control. They're making the effort. We have HSS team members on the ground making effort on a daily basis to see that our refugees get registered, to see that those that their refugee cards have expired, they can be renewed, but it's still not being done. So it's really difficult. So the refugees also face challenges in even just portable drinking water. We see that even before this presentation today, thanks to the ABC technical team, they showed the video that we did, the humanitarian outreach to Adagon 3 refugee camp. The conditions are deplorable. Our people are living in horrible and devastating conditions there in Nigeria. No beds. I mean, even just to find a mat, some of them could even barely find a mat to sleep on the floor. I mean, if you see the images are so painful, but this interim government is very committed and has continuously made effort to reach out to the refugees in Nigeria as soon as that information gets to us. Recently, we reached out to Okende refugee settlement in June 21st, where we went there, a settlement that no one had visited before. So, but we are continuously making that effort because we received the call that they are there. That was actually a new settlement that the UNHCR just opened up. They are there and nobody had reached out to them, but we showed up in a timely manner to make sure that our people get help. Our people are receiving help. Our people don't even get the necessary help that they need from the UNHCR as far as education is concerned. Basic education for even children is not being provided. They will tell you they provide. Yes, it's supposed to show that UNHCR is supposed to provide all of this. Yes, but it's not being provided. Basic education, like the Secretary of State, Dr. Patience Abiedu, just stated there about the great work the Women Department is doing as far as empowering our women. Empowerment is missing in action as far as the refugees are concerned. And this is something that the UNHCR is supposed to be doing. But let me say that they are making the effort, because if you go there, they will show you 1 or 2 projects that they have done as far as empowerment is concerned, but they have not reached out to all of the refugees that are there. So they said, I mean, it stated that is because they don't have the funds. So they're making the efforts that they can to reach out, and they say they don't have the funds. So, but at the level of this interim government, we come to fit in that gap as far as the outreach is concerned. Wherever we find out that there's something missing, wherever we find out that our refugees are not getting support, we try to reach out to them to make sure that they get that kind of support. Now, as far as HSS, the Department of Health and Social Services, is concerned, we are providing the basic necessity for survival. Because when you look at the population, over 125,000, it's not feasible, barely not even feasible to be able to give everyone about 100,000 naira. It's not possible. It's not possible for some form of training. So at the moment, and based on the policies, these policies can change. We are providing the basic necessities for survival so we can reach out to as many people as possible. Everyone on the ground needs to feel the impact of this interim government at the level of HSS. So you need to feel the impact. But not only that, most of this cannot be possible, but thanks to the support. Those that are committed. I mean, we have Southern Cameroonians in the diaspora that are so generous. I must say this. It's a huge sacrifice. I say this as someone that lives here in the diaspora, and I know how difficult it is to even remove $10 out of your paycheck to go and to want to support for an initiative that you have to go on. I mean, we thank all of the Southern Cameroonians enormously for their continuous generosity in making sure that we reach out to our people. One thing for sure that we can assure the Southern Cameroonians abroad is that none of your money will ever go in waste when it comes to this interim government. Oh, yeah. As long as we put the project down, that we have to carry out the project, that project we will follow through, and we will to make sure that it's executed on the ground. But I must say that thanks to the effective team that we have at HSS that is on the ground and in the department or in the diaspora, we are able to provide these services, and we are able to reach out, or we are able to make sure that every single dime that comes in to this interim government is being used appropriately and judiciously. So none of your money will ever go in waste. So we thank you all for your continuous support. I can talk about this all day because we live to do this. We live to do this every day.
Yes, ma'am.
Every day.
Yeah. I just wanted to applaud Dr. Tita and the team for what they are doing. And while he was talking and giving those amount of money, they need to be able to take care of these refugees, a thought just crossed my mind that maybe Ambazonians are so benevolent enough for us to come up with a project to adopt a refugee one-on-one. You adopt a refugee and you spend $20, $30 a month to that refugee. Think about it, adopt a refugee. Maybe that can be something that we can have Ambazonians just adopt one refugee and help that refugee monthly with just small amount of money, because they were used to getting 7,000 nairas a month, and then now it's down to 2,000. What if we do it and just give them 10,000 naira a month? Can you imagine that? Adopt a refugee. Anyway, I just thought about it.
All right, that is food for thought.
Thank you, SOS. That would be good. That was a lot of money. Thank you.
Yes, that is food for thought. Ambazonians, let us think about it and see. We know we are good at doing what we need to do, and we only have to do it because it's incumbent on us to do what we're called to do, right? We are the chosen, no-nonsense generation. So, guys, the moment you find me running all on my own, you know that I'm discussing with the technician to come up with a quick short break before we continue, because Mape and the rest of the team need to sip some water before we go ahead with our conversation. Guys, stay tuned, do not move an inch. So the truth remains, Ambazonia is already free, because up here, there are times I find it difficult doing official things, because when they ask me, where were you born? I feel like, what does she want to hear me say? You know, that is homeland for us.
Fellow countrymen and women, dear Ambazonians, happy Independence Day. Despite the hike in targeted summary execution of our innocent people by Paul Biya's killer squads, I still believe we are now at the twilight of our political daybreak, emptying the combined worth and wealth of a lifetime fortune into the country of our collective dream. At last, my people, the wind of total liberation is sweeping through Ambazonia, our priceless inheritance. Let's get it straight. The freedom of Ambazonia will not depend on the free will of our enemies. While we reiterate our willingness, readiness, and preparedness to a political mediation and negotiation in the existing international framework under the auspices of the Swiss-led diplomatic initiative, our resolve to statehood is well established in the will and choice of weapons of our people. We have been patient enough on our resolve for dialogue, but not even this piece of virtue in our identity should be taken for granted. The Ambazonian will is disposed to all weapons of political adaptation and survival, from the shores of Bimbia and the heights of Mount Fako, through the valleys of Libialem to the grass fields and the highlands of the north. We rise together, stand together, and walk together. Patriotic salute to all our heroes who have gone before us. Patriotic salute to all our valiant Ambazonia Restoration Forces. Freedom greetings to our Ambazonia mothers. Patriotic salute to our fathers. And thank you, Ambazonia. Happy Independence Day. Oh, be proud to say Happy Independence Day to every one of our genocide survivors. Yes, we deserve this. Ambazonia shall be free. Long live Ambazonia. Short live the war. Viva Ambazonia Restoration Forces. Viva the Federal Republic of Ambazonia. And God bless you.
Ambazonia, it is now or never. This generation, our generation, the never again generation, has risen to fall no more. From all around the world, we look forward to October 1st with anticipation as the President of the Federal Republic of Ambazonia, His Excellency Dr. Samuel Ikome Sako, will be addressing the nation with nuggets that will project us into the next level of triumph on Thursday evening, September 30th, 2021 at exactly 8 p.m. Amber time from the State House.
You can see how the flag is flying up. We have hosted the flag in Bamaki. This is Bamaki Tungo. We are right in the palace. We have hosted the flag up. As the flag is going up, means that we have accepted to be one Ambazonian. go somewhere reporting from Baba Kitungo. Watch and see what is happening in the palace. You see the population, we have about 10,000 people here holding the flag. This is our flag. It shall remain here until the day that we have our independence. The day is not far from now. We know 1st October will be the same thing.
So you're saying I can ask this cat any question?
The cat is connected to the computer. You just type in the question, it will read his mind. There the answer comes.
You're the man! I've been looking for this for weeks.
About the Ambazonia refugee or the humanitarian crisis in Ambazonia since 2016 as meted on our people by the neighboring octogenarian regime that has no respect for humanity. So with me once again in the studio I had three powerful statespeople, Patience Abiedu of the Department of Women's and Social or Women's Services. I have Dr. Tita of the Department of Health and Social Services, and of course, the vibrant Dr. Pastor Commando, who is a spiritual advisor at the presidency. Welcome back again, team. And it's always a joyous thing having you here. We smile as we mourn, as we weep, as we move on until we reach Boya. So thank you for joining us again. Yeah, I would like to go straight to some other thing which was not to come now, but I pick on it because I saw the need. Mape, you will go first, and then Doctor will come back, and then Pastor Commando will crown it up really in that sweet way. So, how do you, or in what form, do you preferably like to receive help? Is it only financially or financially and materially?
Before she answers, can I just interject before she answers?
We forgive you. Go ahead.
All right, good. I have good news. A friend of mine who is watching on Facebook just told me to announce to Mape that on his birthday, he was given $215 and he has been waiting and asking God, what is he going to do with the $215? So he wants to send it to Mape for the project she has for the women. So that's why I said, let me interject before.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Happy birthday, bro. Happy birthday. God bless
Thank
you.
You so much. And happy birthday.
Thank you.
Yep, women appreciate that. Thank you.
This will go a long way. Thank you. Good job, Mape. Congratulations for your new thing. So, so now over to you, Mape. Carry on. Tell us, how would you like to receive help? Financially, materially, or both?
The answer is both. Let me say why. Right now, as a matter of fact, this is something that I didn't even mention. Every now and then we have people that travel to our land, to the Southern Cameroon, to Ambazonia, and we try to send things to orphanages. Mm-hmm. And so if people are traveling and they are willing to take a container with them as extra luggage, mm-hmm. we can tell them, or if they are shipping things home, we have people on the ground that can go pick up the items and take mm-hmm. to orphanages that we have in this Victoria and Boya mm-hmm. and Bamenda. So we recently sent some things home that we are expecting to get there in December, just before Christmas, and we'll share with the community when they get it. So those are the things that are in kind. And then financially is the one that is easier because we have women, we have many, many widows that are there that need to be empowered to be able to take care of their families for a long time. So that source of money will never be enough. So if somebody is not able to give in kind and they're willing to give financially, we will appreciate that. I've had people ask me that they have things that they want to give for us to ship. So it's very difficult for us to ship a container home. We've tried that before and we know the nightmare. So we rather just have things sent as people travel, and then they can take these things to locations that we can have people pick them up and give to those orphanages. Right now, we spoke to a lady that is in charge of an orphanage. This lady has currently 189 tenants. Most of them are disabled children. This orphanage is based in Bamenda. Most of them are disabled children that they come in from the age of 3 months, and some of them they are there till the age of 28 years old. And what they're asking of the women's department right now is something that is too big for us to do. They are asking for us to help build their kitchen. So we've been having this conversation, and I would say that this is too big for us to carry right now, a big project. Maybe we'll look out there for funds. So what I'm just trying to say is that money will be welcome. But one thing I can guarantee you, the way we run our department is that no single dollar goes unaccounted for. Money comes through to the department through the account of the interim government. So it goes to the Ambazonia Foundation, and then we write a requisition request when there's a project, and both the undersecretary and myself, we sign it out and it's documented, and then we send it to a third party, and then it's managed that way. So we're very, very careful with the people's money. Not to answer, make that short question very long, both methods will be appreciated.
All right, thank you. That was just so professional a way of responding to that question. I don't want to comment on it because whoever is listening has got you so brilliantly well. Thank you once again, Mape. So please do not move an inch because there's some sweet breaking news from home that I will really hold myself together until we're at the tail end of this show. Then I will break it for you. And everybody will surely be like, I know that Pastor Commando is going to skip off his seat. That's why I can't say that now. So I cannot dare announce it now. So guys, on the screen you can see. Hey, Mape, please, before I forget, how do people contribute from, if somebody just wakes up one morning and thinks about the Department of Women's Services, where do they contribute? On the Central Treasury, or do you have a particular payment options of yours for the department?
Well, that's one thing we've been lagging behind. At one moment, we wanted to create a non-profit part of the women's department. And I would say that I hesitated because we don't really have a lot of women that are willing to work. It's a lot of work, and I don't want to be involved with dealing with money myself. So right now is the Ambazonia Foundation that has a particular line item or a particular, I don't know what the word is. They have a section for the women's department. So if any money is being sent to the women's department, if you just put it that it's for women's department, you send it to the Ambazonia Foundation, and then share that information with us, it will get to us.
All right, perfect. Now we know. That's enough. Thank you so much, Mape, for letting us know. So, Dr. Tita, do you want to add anything too? Because from your own department, how do you accept help? I know that it might be almost the same, but let anybody speak for themselves because the needs are just enormous. We can never meet all of them. So we just want to be as open as we can. So more information, please, Dr. Tita, on how you would like to receive support from our people and from well-wishers.
Yeah, thank you very much again, Mark Comfort, for that great question. The challenges we face at the level of the department are twofold. One is financial, and the second is human resources. We have less staff. The Department of Health and Social Services is structured under directorates. We have the directorates of the prisons. We have directorates of the refugees. We have directorates of the IDPs, directorates of even counseling. You'll be surprised. And then not to forget the one of the most hardworking person in the department, which is the Directorate of Finance and Resource Mobilization, that is headed by Sister Jessica. So we have directorates in the department. There's directorates of disease and infectious disease and control that is monitoring the ground to see why we are war, the disease, the outbreaks that are happening on the ground. So we need human resources to fit into some of these directorates. We do have comrades that are part of this department, but the Department of Health and Social Services need to grow more than what we are today. We have an excellent team, don't get me wrong. There are plenty of people on the team, but help is never enough, especially when it comes to human resources. So we need people that can join the team. We have our HSS team that are representing us in Ground 1. We have some team members in Ground 0. We will need to get our team in Ground 0 to grow, because after this war is over, which is pretty soon, trust me, La Republique will have no choice but to come to the negotiation table very soon. There have to be a robust outreach after La Republique shows up in the negotiation table, which means that we will have to go into every village in every area to provide humanitarian help. It will come. Help will come. Trust me. The president is working extremely hard on this. So, and we will make sure that we have the team on the ground to deliver. So if there's anyone on Ground 0 that would love to join the team, please contact HSS so we can have you in the department so we can start preparing for this. Anyone in Ground 1 that would like to join the team in Ground 1, our team in Ground 1 is growing. I must say this. I'd like to thank all of them that are there producing the report, the results that we see on a daily basis in Ground 1. If you want to join the team, please let us know so we can effectively reach out. And also in the diaspora, we do have our brothers and sisters that are currently detained in prisons and that need lawyers. We would love to have lawyers with, refugee background that can help. We are people that are seeking asylum abroad. We need to get this team to grow. And we are working, before I even get to that, we need also social workers. Anyone with a social work background, please, now is the time to join this team, because we have to deliver to our people. We are not only working as a department, we are working in collaboration with the UNHCR in Ground 0, in Ground 1, and even in the diaspora, in the Bahamas. We have meetings frequently. So we need more people to join this team so we can effectively deliver to our people. So that's one challenge that we're facing, that it has to do with human resources. Now, the other challenge, which is the greatest one, is financial challenges that we get, because these calls come in enormously on a daily basis. They call for someone that is sick, they call for someone that is wounded, they call for someone that was shot in Ground 0 and had to move to Ground 1 and need treatment, and those treatments are very costly. The minimum treatment of wound treatment in Ground 1 is over 250,000 naira. And let me tell you, that's not the cheapest case that we've dealt with. We've dealt with breast cancer surgeries over $1,300, that we've paid from the department to treat those cases. Not only that, we have dealt with tuberculosis of the spine, infection that was treated for we had to take comrades to hospitals and treat them for over 2 months before they can get treated. So these cases come in daily. Please, we will need financial support to anyone that wants to, that can support us at HSS. You could join. I think I've seen the Hope Relief Foundation at Gmail, payment info, or Cash App at Hope Relief Foundation. We could always support. There is always a need. And not only that, this support can be specific. So if you see something in the struggle that you want to support, you could directly send your support to HSS for us to direct it to the area. I say this because of the recent outreach we just did to Kondengi Central Prison that came in from Friends of Liberty and UK women that supported us. That
women UK. Exactly.
Yeah,
I was going to say.
Thank you, sorry, thank you. Sorry, Cameroonians Women UK. That support came specifically for the prisons because that's what we told them, that the prisons needed help, and they said okay, they was going to support us in that project. And once that money came into the department, we directed it to that area where they are supporting it to. So rest assured that if anyone supports the department for a particular reason or so, your money would never be used for something else. It would direct it directly to where you want it to be used. So we count on the continuous support of generosity of every Southern Cameroonians in abroad. Please make an effort and do something. Our people are suffering and our people need our help. Please, and they're counting on you, and we will always be there. You join the team, you are part of us, so just come and let's join. HSS has room for all the doctors, all the pharmacists, all the nurses, all the lawyers. We see there's something for them to do. Everyone, all the social worker, we want to have an idea of the social system that they use in UK, in China, in Canada, in America, so we can construct a better social system for our people. Thank you very much. I'm not going to talk too much again.
I know you can never talk too much, Dr. Tita, because we're talking here of somebody who is managing hundreds of thousands of people. You can never talk enough, right? You can't.
Yeah.
So
thank you.
Yeah. So that said, I am going to keep us now for a while. I don't know. Are you ready, guys? Because I'm about to give an announcement here that is going to yes, before I give you a last round. Do you want to say a thing, Mape? Your smile looks suspicious. Do you want to say something?
No, and I'm looking forward to the announcement.
Oh, good. I'm happy she's looking forward to it. Guys, keep on expecting. Keep on expecting.
The announcement.
I needed to say something before we get to the announcement.
All right, I give you 32 seconds, please.
All right. Okay, good. What I want to say is that I mistakenly mentioned the name of one stooge who is working for like a slave boy in La République du Cameroon, in the name of Mokim Bella. I called him to be the Minister of Foreign Affairs for La République. Meanwhile, the Minister of Foreign Affairs is Mbella Mbella, not Bella Moki. That's what I just wanted to correct. And then also interject here that this interim government is not part of La République. Some people are commenting how the HSS is only going to their relatives and their friends. No, this interim government is not La République. We are going to the people that have need. And when we see the people that have need, we go ahead to support them. Not friendship, not family. Thank you very much.
Thank you for
Thank you,
pointing. I was going to ignore, but I would rather add my voice now. I really saw it. I was going to ignore that, but that is really false, because all of the groups, that even the Southern Cameroons Women UK, what they do is they are specialized in going down, deep down the bushes and seeing those who don't have any opportunity to get help from anybody. Those are the ones they reach out to. They don't care who you are. They just need to know that you are down there and nobody's reaching out to you. They reach out to you. So there's nothing like giving to their people or no. That is false. And those are those type of people we don't really need on this platform. But we are so focused that nobody can distract us. That's nothing. Guys, hear this out. Just hear me out now. After which I'll give you a few seconds to comment on it before we wrap up. Or if you still have something boiling, I'll give you time after this. So, the mother of all battles ongoing in SUP this evening. Right. So the warriors are still holding the heavily armed Cameroon military convoy at SUP, a neighborhood in Jakiri, in what might be termed as one of the longest battle entering day 3 non-stop. The military helicopter also came to play its part to scare the warriors away in vain, and could not stay long for fear of being blown off by the warriors of Bui. The military convoy has taken 3 days from Wainama, the border village with Ngoketunjia, with the hope of joining their colleagues in Kumbo in vain. The warriors starting breaking them down from Wainama Monday the 29th of September 2021, forcing some to return to Ngoketunjia for more backup that arrived on the 28th of August, or I think should be September 2021, where they were transferred. They transferred their aggression on kids, shooting at least 2. They forced their way with some of their casualties to Jakiri, chief town of that LGA, with attempts to continue to Kumbo in vain. The warriors had been on guard since then, battling it out with them as the battle continued this morning. The military left Jakiri for Kumbo early this morning in a convoy of close to 20 cars, but got grounded by the warriors at mile 55 Nkar, 3 kilometers away from Jakiri. Luck struck on them as the battery to the explosives planted to bury all of them ran out, as it was not fully charged due to their delay. Meanwhile, Kumbo town should be on high alert as they have unleashed more of their men this evening as they are spotted descending the hills of Tobin. 26 military vehicles are expected to touch base soon. We are yet to know if they want to attack them or to attack this town this night or are moving towards SOP to rescue their colleagues, but all need to be on serious high alert irrespective of their move. Called from SM. Happy Independence Day 2021. Ambazonia must be free. This one is just coming in from our Queen Kemi Ashu. And so we thought that we should hear and get this done. So Pastor Commando, Oya, what do you think after listening to that?
Yes, I had in one of my outings, because we are very good people, advised La République du Cameroon that all that they have been depending on has failed. And as some of their military colleagues have been saying in the field, those who are sitting in the offices, they have just sent them to go and be sacrificed so that they can eat fat. And of course, at the end of the day, nothing will come out from what they are doing. Now, again, I want to reiterate to tell La République du Cameroon that the best way for them to do, not to meet their Waterloo and come out shamefully, as Esomba was saying, is for them to go back, because this battle is not fought by mere men, it's fought by God himself, because Ambazonia has been handed over to God, and that is the secret. We don't hide our secrets from people who are unfortunate. We tell them, even if they want to come and try to see that they get into the same system, unless they come into the system which President Sako declared Ambazonia to be, that is the only way they will have freedom. If not, they are in for their Waterloo. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much for that, Pastor Commando. If you have maybe a last word, you just drop in now for less than 30 seconds, because after this, you will not have the opportunity anymore. Is there anything to take home for Ambazonians for tonight from you, Pastor Commando?
Yeah, my last word for Ambazonians is that fear not. If there is anything I want to tell you, fear not. Even if they bring their arsenals and bring the ones from France and add together with Chinese papers that they are already blowing up, fear not. That is my last word for the Ambazonian people. Fear not. Full stop.
Mape, you just want to comment on anything, just pour out your heart and give a last remark, and so that we'll finally round up. Thank you.
Sure. So thank you, Mark Comfort. My last remark is this, that as far as the information you just gave us, Thibault Nagy had already told La République that they cannot win this thing militarily. So I don't know why they are wasting their time. They're just killing their own young men every day. But for our people that are listening and watching on ground 1, ground 0, the promise of this interim government, especially as far as the women's department is huge. We are looking forward to a nation where the Ambazonia woman will be part of nation building. We are looking for 4 main things. Gender mainstreaming, which means that we'll integrate the women in such a way that they'll be part of policy building projects, organization in government. We are also looking for empowerment, where that ensures that the women control their future, both financially and have access to resources. We're looking in preventing gender-based violence. Right now, 1 in 3 women in the world experience some sort of physical or sexual abuse. So we're looking that the women's department would make sure that things like that do not happen in Ambazonia. And finally, we're looking for women that will be involved in governance, where their presence will make sure that there's the diversity in all sectors of government, having leaders that make sure that we build strong political representation and also decision-making system. I end here by thanking you all and wishing you a happy Independence Day on October 1st, if we don't see you again. Thank you so much, Ma Comfort, for having here. Thank you, Dr. Tita. Thank you, Pastor Commando, for being here with me.
Thank you, Mappy. So, Dr. Tita, over to you, please.
Yes, thank you very much, Mark Comfort, again for giving us this opportunity to be here. Thank you, ABC, for doing such a tremendous job. I mean, the work ABC is doing can be seen everywhere now and can be felt in Ground Zero and all over the world. The cost of war is not only the cost of fighting a war, but the cost of rehabilitating the population after the war. I'm going to say this. La République du Cameroon, in his effort to keep the people of Southern Cameroon oppressed, has inflicted so much pain, so much psychological pain on the people of Southern Cameroon that will take decades upon decades or even generations to wipe out. There is no way Southern Cameroons can ever live in any union with La République du Cameroon because of the pain, the psychological pain they've inflicted on our people. That said, we will win this war and Southern Cameroons will be free. No one should be afraid, like Pastor Commando said. We are almost there. Keep doing the work that we are doing on Ground Zero. Diaspora, us in the diaspora will keep doing the work that we are doing in financing or giving the support that our people need. Our Department of Foreign Affairs will continue to reach out to do the diplomatic work, the outreach that they're supposed to do for us to get our freedom. Freedom is very close, and you will see it in no time. Happy Independence Day to you all. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you so much, Dr. Tita. Dear televiewers and sympathizers of the Ambazonia liberation struggle, you have just listened to us tonight, and I can assure you what you have heard is nothing but the tip of the iceberg, because we just managed to paint a little bit of the picture as of from 2016 up till now. We are in dire need. Do not keep a dime. We appreciate the brother who took something from his birthday and thought of us. He prayed over it and God blessed him to meet us today. And this will go a long way. No matter how small you think it is, it's small because of where you are, because you have a bit more than that. But $1, I can assure you, would provide 5 toothbrushes. If you don't buy them, those children will go without brushing their teeth. People have been treated of breast cancer and so on. There is more, but no time to recount. Please reach out. Give a dime. Reach out to help in one way or the other. The need is really, really too much. The burden is huge. We are capable of the task that is before us because we are the chosen generation. It was not by accident that we were made the never again generation, and we are taking our people home to BUEA, Boya, right? As concerning the news just came in, I want to use this opportunity to send a message to La République du Cameroon that they keep recycling a wrong thing, right? Over and over and over, dancing this Bafia dance, thinking that it will give a different result. No, they cannot shoot their way to Ambazonia. You can't rape your way to Ambazonia. You cannot kill your way to Ambazonia. That is the wrong direction. While you go this wrong direction to kill innocent people, our own restoration forces are shooting their way to the dialogue table where we will discuss negotiate separation. That is just it. We are separating from a union that has never been, but that is it, and that is where we shall meet, and that is just it. Thank you, dear people. Happy Independence Day. Stay strong. We shall make it to Boya. Thank you and goodbye.
Goodbye. Happy Independence Day.
Happy Independence Day.
Thank you.
Thanks. Bye.
Fellow countrymen and women, dear Ambazonians, happy Independence Day. Despite the hike in targeted summary execution of our innocent people by Paul Biya's killer squads, I still believe we are now at the twilight of our political daybreak, emptying the combined worth and wealth of a lifetime fortune into the country of our collective dream. At last, my people, the wind of total liberation is sweeping through Ambazonia, our priceless inheritance. Let's get it straight. The freedom of Ambazonia will not depend on the free will of our enemies. While we reiterate our willingness, readiness, and preparedness to a political mediation and negotiation in the existing international framework under the auspices of the Swiss-led diplomatic initiative, our resolve to statehood is well established in the will and choice of weapons of our people. We have been patient enough on our resolve for dialogue, but not even this piece of virtue in our identity should be taken for granted. The Ambazonian will is disposed to all weapons of political adaptation and survival, from the shores of Bimbia and the heights of Mount Fako, through the valleys of Lebialem to the grass fields and the highlands of the north. We rise together, stand together, and walk together. Patriotic salute to all our heroes who have gone before us. Patriotic salute to all our valiant Ambazonia Restoration Forces. Freedom greetings to our Ambazonian mothers. Patriotic salute to our fathers. And thank you, Ambazonia. Happy Independence Day. Oh, be proud to say Happy Independence Day to every one of our genocide survivors. Yes, we deserve this. Ambazonia shall be free. Long live Ambazonia. Short live the war. Viva Ambazonia Restoration Forces. Viva the Federal Republic of Ambazonia. And God bless you.
Ambazonia, it is now or never. This generation, our generation, the never again generation, has risen to fall no more. From all around the world, we look forward to October 1st with anticipation as the President of the Federal Republic of Ambazonia, His Excellency Dr. Samuel Ikome Sako, will be addressing the nation with nuggets that will project us into the next level of triumph on Thursday evening, September 30th, 2021 at exactly 8 p.m. Amber time from the State House.
We are right in the front. As the flag is going up, means that we have accepted to be one Ambazonian. Angayapo somewhere reporting from Baba Kitungo. Watch and see what is happening in the palace. You see the population, we have about 10,000 people here holding the flag. This is our flag. It shall remain here until the day that we have our independence. The day is not far from now. We know 1st October will be the same thing.
So you're saying I can ask this cat any question?
The cat is connected to the computer. You just type in the question, it will read his mind. There the answer comes.
You're the man! I've been looking for this for weeks. So you're saying I can ask this cat any question?
The cat is connected to the computer.